Dude, we're all dying.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
Except
feeling
me.
way better than I did once bitten.
That's
Yeah, you
good.
better, because I almost kicked you off the show.
I was like, gasp.
I was like
We're
over
almost
here, and
to
I
the
was like,
end.
I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Y'all
Get
don't
your
get
health under
PTO?
control.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
he
the
used all of his.
Yeah.
Sequels get PTO.
Aw, man, what?
We're incorporated.
We care.
Damn.
Maybe we shouldn't have made that decision to treat everybody like shit when we started this thing.
We should have been much better.
Remember, like, when you were in the hospital and I just wheeled a mic up to you and I'm like, talk about this movie.
And I'm like,
Remember how Vince's family is literally starving?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
But
still
we're
never
not.
got anything. Yeah.
We have so much money.
We-
So much money.
So much
Well,
money.
canonically, didn't he eat one of them?
He did.
Yeah.
It's canon.
It's canon now. One child was
One of it, yeah.
cannibalized.
You've actually eaten one of your children in the FREAKQUELS mythology.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Hello, boils and ghouls. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of SHEQUELS, where all of October we've been doing reviews on what we believe are true Halloween time classics. I'm your haunting host, Robyn Ammenhauser, and with me today are my two witch-tastic stars, Elle Snow and Meggie Roche. How you guys doing?
Sisters!
So today we're going to give you a breakdown of the 1993 Halloween classic, Hocus Pocus.
I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do this one forever.
Oh,
This is gonna be
same.
fun.
Yeah, this has been one of my favorites growing up. Like since very young, I remember me and my sister Melody just going house to house and singing the song from the movie. It's I don't know, it has a special place in my heart. So
My
I'm
friends
very
and I
happy.
always did the Sanderson strut when we'd go out trick-or-treating together,
Oh,
where you
yes.
like sort of do that weird sidestep in front of each other. It was very cool. We were very cool 12-year-olds.
Nice. You know what though? Are you having? Because I feel like I'm having a hard time hearing you over the mic, Meg. Are you?
Oh, are my levels bad?
Maybe like you know what?
Vince set it all up and then he went home. Damn it,
Maybe
Vince.
should we
Okay.
try to do a little spell and bring him in?
Oh, yeah.
I think we can do that.
All right.
Sean?
Please do.
Okay. Turn on the mics and twist the dial.
Itchita capita melica mystica.
Over the waves our voices will fly.
Itchita capita melica mystica.
Let us now summon Vince
Just
like
like this.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Wait a
Who
minute.
the
guys.
fuck are you?
Why are we here?
You,
Oh, well, I'm EJ, and this is Rory.
you guys are not Vince.
No.
No,
We were
we're
looking
not
for
Vince.
We
Did you need help with something?
Yeah, did you need our help?
Well, okay, hold on. What? A little powwow, girls, please.
Yeah, okay.
What do you guys think? Should
EJ,
should we
who are
let
these
them?
guys?
okay.
Should we
Yeah,
let them?
we can let them.
I feel like they might get murderers.
I mean, I'm hearing you on the mic now, so I think that's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as the mic is working.
Yeah.
But guys, did you want to hang out then and maybe review a movie with us? Have
Do
you ever
you-
seen Hocus Pocus?
Do you like movies?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I not really.
I mean, yeah, like Rory said, maybe not really.
Yeah.
What about podcasts? Do you like podcasts?
I mean, we like dabble.
Yeah, we
Okay.
mess around a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but-
Guys
I'm
on a
in.
podcast talking about movies. I don't know if this is going to work.
It's gonna take off.
Yeah.
You should call it Hequels.
Equals! It's happening.
We call our sequels.
FREAKQUELS?
No, just roll with it.
Should I be saying this into the microphone?
Yes, and keep it louder.
EJ, why did we just appear in some other reality?
I don't know.
I'm assuming it's a different reality because this water tastes weird.
Yeah. And I definitely have diarrhea from it.
I don't trust these guys.
No.
And if you're asking how do I know that already, trust me.
Oh, jeez. Hey, just to put this out there, I don't trust them.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's cool. Let's just go with it. I saw Hocus Pocus. Did you see Hocus Pocus?
I mean, I did. I saw Hocus Pocus.
All right.
You know what? I have an idea here,
Whoa,
guys.
hi.
Hear me out.
What do you want?
How about since we all know the movie Hocus Pocus here,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah.
Maybe we could do a little breakdown together.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we always like to, talk about, our weeks and stuff. And
That's what we do on our show.
yeah.
Oh, you know what? That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our week.
Yeah, Robyn, how was your week?
It sucked. No, no, it was all right. I'm trying to think. I saw some cool movies.
What'd you see?
Well, let's see. What did I see? I know I've been trying to catch up on some Tim Burton movies lately because we're having a Tim Burton party.
Do we have Tim Burton in our reality?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I just got
Is he
done.
dating Helena Bonham Carter in yours?
I think so.
Possibly. I think it's.
I think he's asexual in our reality.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Hey, I think this actually is a alternate reality, by the way.
Right.
Because like in our reality, it's Miller Light.
Yeah.
This is Miller Heavy.
That's weird.
Isn't that a weird change?
That's a weird change.
Yeah. Everything else looks the same, but just that beer's different.
Yeah. That's strange.
Yeah.
Because you guys have Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Dr. Pepper.
But Miller Heavy.
But
It
Miller
doesn't really
Heavy,
work.
that's-
It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
So weird.
It's actually pronounced Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay.
That was actually one of Vince's nicknames.
Oh,
Oh wait,
That's
Dr.
right.
Paper.
you guys
Yeah.
know Vince?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we've
yeah.
Young Vince is a foundational element of FREAKQUELS.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he helps us out sometimes too. He helps out SHEQUELS.
Well, that's why he's not here today, guys. We found out he was flirting with another podcast, and we had to deal with him.
Oh
Yes,
my
we did.
God.
Yeah.
He actually sent me a voicemail why he couldn't make it. Do you want to hear the voicemail?
Does
Yeah.
it involve drywall?
I don't know. I haven't listened to it at all, but he told me to just play this voicemail for
Oh, yeah,
everybody.
Sure.
Okay.
So
This should be good.
All right, let's hear it.
okay. So like I said, I haven't listened to this yet, so I have no idea what he said. But here we go. Hold on.
I hope whoever's editing this episode really just tightens this part up, because
All right.
Jesus.
Here it is.
Hey guys, it's me, Vince. Sorry I couldn't be there. I was putting up some drywall and somehow it's become more of a wet wall. Yeah, it's super confusing. Anywho, you're probably wondering why I sound so different. This is my actual phone voice. It's very different from my microphone voice. Probably sexier. Well, I better get going. I'm gonna listen to the Deftones because I love the Deftones. Oh, by the busy. To anyone who tries to tip me at the bar, don't. I hate tips. They're the worst. Okay, bye. Vince was here.
So yeah, I just
No, that sounds just like him.
That sounded just like our Vince.
yeah. So he's just busy doing
He
butt
is.
wall.
He
Yeah.
is not well.
He's no, that's just Vince's voice.
Why does he sound like he was speaking through that little tape recorder thing in Home Alone 2? The talk back, what was it called?
The talk boy.
Yeah, talk boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey kids, we're home early.
Hi, this is Mr. McAllister.
You know how I know that was definitely Vince?
Yeah.
Because he mentions the Deftones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Because that's what
Makes
you
sense.
that's what you have to call the band. That's their
Right.
name.
Yeah.
To call them anything other than that would be foolish.
And I think he's right. His voice on the phone is sexier
It
than
is.
his
Yeah.
his podcasting voice. So.
Yeah. But you guys were going on about your weeks and stuff.
Oh yeah. Did
so-
you guys see any new movies?
I took myself on a little date last weekend, and I saw Devara, which is a Tollywood film, and it is a vehicle for NTR, and he is basically just an action star, and it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. Beautiful visuals.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
I have a 3-year-old at home, and so I've been watching nothing but Muppets Christmas Carol on a
Lucky.
loop for about 3 weeks
So
now
good.
because she's obsessed. So
Cool.
that's where I'm at.
That is a good one.
It is good, but yeah, no, she doesn't like the idea that it's not Christmas right now. So I think she's trying to manifest it.
I saw Gonzo in person once, and he was pretty cool. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Rory, how about you?
I also saw Gonzo once.
Does Gonzo mean something different on your side of things?
No,
No,
he's just
okay.
like a
Wild Muppet.
yeah. He likes chickens.
Alright.
Yeah, Henrietta. Yeah.
I saw some movies.
Oh, really? What'd you
Yeah.
see?
So, friend of the show, Dave Gonzalez, has a podcast called Real Chronicles, and one of the movies that we covered was Nightmare on Elm Street 5. The only one that I felt like I needed to, revisit. I was a little shaky on it, and then I watched it, and I was like, no, you're not.
I got this.
You remember every goddamn second of this movie.
I got this.
So it was a
by
waste
guess.
of my time and poor Becca's. I also, for the first time, watched the movie Tootsie.
Oh,
First
yeah.
time.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Oh my god.
Almost,
Dustin Hoffman?
almost a perfect movie.
Yeah, and what do you call her? Gina Davis? I
Gina
think that was,
Davis
one of
is in
her
it.
First
Jessica
movies.
Lange,
Yeah.
rock star Jessica Lange.
Oh wow.
I love Dustin Hoffman. He's like
Yeah, he's one of my.
No.
Yeah.
One of my
Is that a
faves.
scary movie?
It is.
No.
On our world, it's
I've
terrifying.
never seen. I can't say.
It's very frightening. I also saw The Wild Robot.
Yeah, that was really good.
I saw that one.
You know what's
Yeah.
annoying? So I don't know what's going on with my body, but I had a steady stream of tears coming out of this eye, but nothing out of this eye.
Oh.
I'm pointing to my left eye for everybody at home who can't see it, but yeah, no, I found that movie to be weirdly emotional. Did you guys see it? No.
I saw it.
Well, then I probably just sound like a big baby.
Well,
When you
I
see the
love
movie, you'll understand. It's just very beautiful.
Who
It's
produced it?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. Well, that's why.
Yeah.
There's your answer right there.
I mean, I know Pixar generally tugs at my heartstring, which was interesting because I didn't even think I had a heart,
Yeah,
technically.
I
But
thought you were like the Tin Man.
yeah. But no, there's like a point when you start getting an idea what the movie's about where I'm like, oh, this hurts.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
It is. I agree.
I saw. Oh, you watched it too?
Oh yeah.
Other Earth, Robyn.
Yes, actually. Somehow we both have this movie in our universes. That's so
Interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
How
agree,
wild
though.
was your wild robot?
Pretty wild. I mean, started off, kind of like tame and
Yeah.
like, built up, and I thought it was pretty good. I felt like it definitely also tugged at my heartstrings, but it has a really good message behind it. Plus, I love DreamWorks.
Yeah.
It also created one of my favorite films, How to Train Your Dragon. So,
I like looking at that dragon. Looks like Ella a little bit.
Yeah.
My cat.
oh,
We'll talk more about
And
her.
At what point in Wild Robot does Skynet come up?
Oh, it doesn't.
Very,
Oh, okay.
very
And,
early on.
and the version of Wild Robot that I watched, it was like wild because it started smoking and had a drug habit.
It did. In
And,
our
well,
universe, the wild robot is.
Yeah.
He's
No,
more
I
fun.
think, I think that's Robots Gone Wild. You're
Oh.
mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it was on a boat. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I also saw Joker 2, Filet of Fish. Did you guys see that?
Folly at doo doo. Yeah, no, I did see that.
Yeah, it's the way I keep explaining it to people is that if you loved it, you're correct. If you hated it, you're also correct. Because it's a very conflicting movie. Like I liked it more than I didn't, but there's some choices in it. One thing I'll say though is that I complain an awful lot about how sequels are sometimes very much like copy paste. You
Yeah.
know? This one took some big old wild swings, and I really appreciated it for just not being the same damn thing as the first one. But I do have to wonder why Todd Phillips was going out of his way not to give you the movie that you wanted to see.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it seems like almost contemptuous towards the first one. Last week, when I said I had a concern about how I felt like the Joker 2 was going to be like an apology for the first one, I was correct.
Yeah, my review is I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was images put to film.
Right.
Everything was in focus. No, I mean, it's a beautiful looking
it was,
movie.
in fact, a moving picture.
Yeah, it's a beautiful looking movie. Like all the performances are like great. It's just something about the storytelling was very interesting.
Yeah.
Is the word I would use. Outside of all that business, I went to the NEPA Horror Fest that we've been talking up.
Hell yeah.
You know,
how
How
was
was
it?
it?
it was awesome. It was really wonderful. we spent like 40 minutes hanging out with Amanda Wyss.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
she like kept talking to us. Like she just wanted to like hang out, and it was really fun. I didn't go up to her and talk to her about Nightmare on Elm Street at all. I just started talking about Dexter.
Oh, really?
Because she's in like one scene in the first season of Dexter. She's like the social worker that goes to visit Rita's house and check on the kids.
Oh, wow.
And Dexter's
really?
like, yeah, she jumped
Yeah.
right the hell out at me. I was like, that's Amanda Wyss. She's in all my favorite 80s movies. But yeah, she was great, and she like loved Becca. Like she kept telling her how beautiful she thought she was, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, you got it. Which was also kind of great. This is the last thing I'll bring up. There was the week before that they did Nightmare on Elm Street trivia, and I won. Yeah, my team
Congrats.
crushed it. We crushed it, and I won a pair. And this is weird because we talked about this in a prior episode. We were talking about how awesome it would have been to have the 3D glasses from the original presentation of Freddy's Dead when they had it in theaters, and I won a pair.
I know, that's so crazy.
I know, it's the
you sent
weirdest
me a
thing.
picture. I'm like, shut up. No way. I'm freaked out.
And then Lisa Zane was there.
At the trivia?
Yeah, no, not there.
Oh.
Yeah, she was doing trivia too. She's like, I'm gonna cheat. I know everything about the one I was in.
I got this one.
No, she was at the Horror Fest.
Oh, yeah. How was she?
She was super nice. She was just very like low key.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to her about her brother Billy Zane.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you?
Were you like, I put the diamond in the coat, and then...
No, but I did tell her, I'm like,
Oh, okay.
like her favorite movie is Titanic, and she's like, oh yeah. She's like, that seems to be a lot of people's favorite movie. The other thing that was really cool about that fest was that I ran into one of the people that do kitties of an EPA pet rescue, and they were very, very grateful how often we bring up that little group and promoting it. So that was
nice.
great. Yeah, you might hear about them later.
Yeah.
People,
Oh,
am I allowed to yell at your audience?
That's my job.
Oh, whoa.
Oh.
We'll
Yeah, you
see.
can fight Elle for it if you want.
I will.
Okay.
Donate to Kitties of any PA Rescue, you dumb jerks.
Yeah.
Stupid idiots.
Man, you're fucking burning them.
Yeah, you're pretty cool. We'll talk later. I've been talking for like 40 minutes. How about you, Eej?
You need to calm the hell down, man.
Slow down.
Your audience needs some burn cream. Damn. I'm good. I didn't really see anything new except Wild Robot, Joker Folie Adieu, and
Filet of fish.
Filet of Fish. And I also saw a movie called Monster Summer, and I loved it. It was amazing. I actually saw it twice. I want to go see it again. It's so good.
I'll go with you.
It kind of has.
What are you
like
doing
a
after the show?
Goosebumps. Yeah, it has like a Goosebumps kind of vibe. Like if I saw this as a kid, it would be like up here, like with Hocus Pocus. Honestly, yeah, that's how I felt about it. Like I was like, oh, this is Hocus Pocus for like this era of kids.
For Gen Alpha.
Yeah, Gen Alpha. Yeah. So I
Nice.
loved it, and I highly recommend going to check that out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing your Hocus Pocus podcast. We'll just probably sit in on this one and disrupt when we disrupt.
Yeah.
Sure.
Make this an unpleasant experience for everybody.
Yes.
All right.
Lead
Then I
us
guess
off.
We are ready to begin.
Robyn, is it?
It is, yes. So I'm also wondering, since there's 2 podcasts on this show, can we maybe split it in half somehow? EJ, are you familiar enough with Hocus Pocus? Maybe you could take the second half and I'll do the first?
I could take that second half. Hell yeah. I'll take it all the way.
Deal.
Do you just have a pocket full of
chemistry.
notes for Hocus Pocus?
I do.
Elle, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Like
chemistry
maybe
between
Robyn
those
and
two.
EJ are
Yeah.
kind of hitting it off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Say what?
What are you talking about?
Shut your butt.
Oh my gosh.
EJ, you should talk to her after the show.
Maybe I will.
Oh boy.
I'll give her my famous line.
Do it.
Yeah.
What's the line?
Hey, Robyn.
Oh, he's doing something.
Yes.
I like you.
I thought you were going to do
Sorry.
the I'm a mature person and
you're
you're
a mature person.
person.
So let's skip all the bullshit and just do what we really want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Welcome back to SHEQUELS.
Robyn, did that
let's
do
go.
anything for you?
Nope.
Maybe, I don't know.
Is it weird that it did something for me?
No.
Settle down.
All right, let's start this movie. Let's do
go.
it.
Yes,
Alright.
focusing in. Here we go.
Focus on the pocus.
The movie starts with the opening of a mystical book and a pan over of an old-timey village in Salem.
I love that shot because
Yes.
it's like opening a storybook, but the tone of it feels like a grim story. And
Yeah.
then the panning over the forest, it's like a witch flying over it. So I love that so much.
Absolutely.
Yep. And I like that they used the Pioneer Village, which is like the reenactment village at Salem with all of the historical housing. So they filmed the whole opening sequence at Pioneer Village because they did all of the daytime stuff on location, which really just gives it a very lived-in feel that I love.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Like, truthfully, while we're on that, too, I have to brag just a little bit. I've kind of been there. Like, I got to witness it in person. And a few of the other locations from this movie, too. With some other guy who just happens to also be named EJ. So weird, right?
What?
Yeah.
That's so strange. No, it's weird because we went to Salem and we went to every filming location that they did for the movie. And so we went to like the cemetery, we went to Allison's house, Max's house, even where he rides his bike and everything. So we saw the school.
Yep.
But it's funny because all the scenes with the witches were shot out in Los Angeles, and then all the scenes with like the kids were shot in Salem. So like a lot of the times when you see the witches going towards the school, that's actually just like stand-ins, and you could kind of tell a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You think Bette Midler's like, I'm not going to fucking Salem.
She's like, I'm not going to Salem. Where is that?
Or maybe they were worried people in the town would be like, hey, is that Bette Midler? When they're trying to film.
Yeah.
I love you, Bette.
Hey, Sex in the City lady. Oh, that didn't happen yet. All right, go ahead.
Well, Kathy Najimy was a little worried about accepting the role because she was like, aren't there like real practicing witches out there? Are they going to be offended by this? And so she was a little like, she had some trepidation about taking the role of Mary because she didn't want to offend anybody and possibly, you know, get like hexed or something.
That's valid.
So maybe
Yeah.
she was a little nervous about going to Salem and being like, no, that's a little too close to home.
Aw. Well, I'm happy she did, though. I feel like she nailed that part.
Yeah, I think the three of us can say on behalf of practicing witches, like, you did great, honey. We love it.
Did some of her performances, were you getting like some Three Stooges vibes primarily
yeah.
from
Oh,
Curly?
yeah.
Yeah, she was.
I
Like,
really
yeah,
appreciate
had some
that.
Curly-esque
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah.
With the dog barks and everything.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. Here we see a young Thackeray Binks lay sleeping. A quick glimpse of someone running past his bedroom window startles him awake to realize his sister Emily isn't there.
I love right before he wakes up, there's all the barnyard animals freaking out because they sense the presence of the witches.
I have down, there were chickens,
Yeah.
some horses, sheep.
Yeah.
I saw some geese.
Yeah.
And they're all getting emojis later.
Nice.
Love the animals.
Yeah.
We
Gotta
do
support 'em.
emojis too. Interesting.
Do you?
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of weird. We have some similarities there.
Later on in the show, I might be able to get some, like, at least the chickens to call in and actually do an
Ooh.
interview.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Some of them are still alive.
Can you?
But let's move on.
Amazing.
Oh, one quick thing. One of the filmmakers involved. I believe he was one of the writers, Mick Garris.
Yeah.
Are you a fan?
Yeah, love him.
Are you guys aware of Mick Garris?
He did
Sure.
Sleepwalkers.
Sleepwalkers. He did Psycho 4.
Yeah.
He's actually like an interesting person in Hollywood because he's like primarily known for being like a horror filmmaker. And for a very long time, he was like keeping that group of them, like Wes Craven, John Carpenter, all those guys together, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, he just seems like a great guy who just loves the genre.
And David Kirshner, who co-wrote this, went on to produce all the Child's Play movies and stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Too bad. Did those movies take off in your universe?
Yeah. They
little
sound
bit.
familiar.
Yeah.
Chucky got canceled in ours.
Yeah.
Season 3. They pulled the plug after that one.
Yeah. But
Ours is better, I guess. I don't know.
Chucky's still going. The Chucky show.
He takes a look around and sees smoke coming from the middle of the woods, so he runs to Emily's rescue. He then finds her following someone into the Sanderson sisters' residence, so he starts looking for a way to sneak in.
I just have to say, I love when Thackeray falls down the longest hill in cinema history. And he has, like, no shoes, and I'm like, hey, man, maybe you should get some, like, hiking boots or something.
Something.
And you won't fucking slip down.
Was it The Princess Bride?
Yeah. I was like,
I've broken my tibia, but I gotta keep going.
where's my fucking sister? Yeah, but go ahead.
Meanwhile, we are introduced to the eldest sister, Winifred, who goes to wake up her spell book and prepare a life potion that will make herself and her sisters, Mary and Sarah, young again.
That book is the cousin to the Necronomicon.
Oh.
Did you know that?
I did not.
But I can see the family resemblance. I adore.
It's the eye.
I adore that she has such a love and affection for this book, and then to her sisters is just so mean.
Contempt.
And, yeah, just contempt and like a toleration, I guess.
Yeah.
That's her baby.
I also like that the production design was borrowed from the Brothers Grimm collection.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone else noticed that.
Fascinating. Also, I
You
did
don't have
want
to humor me.
I do also have like the sisters have a Three Stooges energy. I did write that down.
Yeah.
And I also just wanted to take a moment and mention how ooky spooky the witches got as they're approaching Emily with the potion. And, like I don't know. I feel like, not to hate on movies here, but like the sequel wasn't
Was awful.
as ooky spooky as I was hoping for it to be. I don't know. Is it just me?
I didn't even watch it because I was like, you can't top it, and I feel like it would just make me sad to see them try. So I just decided to let 1993 be a perfect little bubble.
Can I have your brain?
Yeah.
I
wish I
still
did the
use
same.
it every other Tuesday.
Every other
and,
Tuesday? Okay.
the third weekend of every month.
I have memories of Hocus Pocus too, and they're not great. So you're in a better position.
You made the right call.
You did.
Because
You're a
they tried
hero.
to, like, make the sisters sympathetic in the second one. And if you watch this one, they straight up murder a child in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. And
Takes
they
away with
worship
it.
Satan.
Yeah. And they're like,
They love
worship
him.
Satan, and they murdered Emily, the little sister, which she deserved it. But I like.
Whoa!
Oh, sorry.
Do you guys like children in this universe?
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a weird choice to try to like make them sympathetic. I'm like, just let them be evil.
Yeah.
They're like fun evil.
This became like a Halloween classic for like generations, just from the first movie, and then they had to do what they did with the sequel, and
Well,
I could
feel
go on
like-
about that.
I feel like a lot of Hollywood these days, and especially Disney, they see a marketing opportunity and then they try to capitalize on it, even to the detriment of the narrative and the characters. So, like, we all love the Sanderson sisters. They are evil bitches, and they get their comeuppance, and we all love that. But we still love them too, because they do have this Three Stooges energy, and there is like a lot of nostalgia there. But the urge to make them sympathetic, to try and like capitalize even more on making people love them, and trying to find like different like merchandising opportunities and stuff like that. So these days, I feel like villains are not typically allowed to just be villains. Like, there's gotta be something in there that's redeemable, because they know that people are gonna want to find it, I guess.
But there's something special about a character who's just evil and they love it, like the Emperor.
Like who?
Like the Emperor in Return of the Jedi. That guy doesn't seem like he's got any humanity in there, and I love him for it.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Speaking of, is that also considered one of the greatest lines of dialogue in cinema history in your universe?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think there's
so.
a ghost
I
out
think
there.
a ghost just tipped something over in protest.
Yeah.
See,
Palpatine
even
has
they agree.
returned. Somehow Palpatine
Somehow
has returned.
Palpatine has returned.
Somehow Palpatine is in the ice maker.
So, getting back to the movie here. Binks then tries to stop the Sanderson sisters from getting any closer to Emily, but the witches overpower him and breathe in all of Emily's life force.
Maybe he shouldn't have waited until the absolute last fucking second. He was just hanging out in the loft, like peeking over the edge, like, "Ooh, what you doing?" And then when it's like, "Oh shit, no, it's actually happening." You know, the spoon is a centimeter away from her face, and then he's like, "Stop!"
Pick your moment, Binks.
Speaking of the Emperor, I actually have in my notes, I love that when he zaps Thackeray with force lightning.
It's like an Attack of the Clones.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, as we were sitting down to watch this, my husband, Max, had never seen this movie before. So when he asked me, "Oh, what movie are you guys doing this week?" And I said, "Hocus Pocus." He said, "Oh, I've never seen it." And I was like, "Okay, sit down. We're doing this." And I told him that the effects really hold up well in this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the first, real effect that you get to see is the force lightning. And he just sort of looked at me sideways and was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, it gets better. It gets better. There's a cat." He was like, "Oh, well, if there's a cat."
Well, the effects on the cat have to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no Homeward Bound, okay? But
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, can we cover that on Freakquels in our universe? Homeward Bound?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Shadow, Sassy, all your favorites?
Yeah, I'm down. I love Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, me too, man.
You do, that's true. Yeah.
It's true. They have a song, Homeward Bound.
Yeah? I feel like we're not on the same page
I don't even know what I'm doing.
I don't even know you anymore.
My frequency is real off, okay?
Yeah. Well, we're
all
gonna
right,
be
so
talking
Binks
after the
comes
show.
charging in to save the day, totally on time.
Yeah. In the blink of an eye, they appear younger, but they're still determined to suck out the life of all the children in Salem. Binks tries to taunt them, but Winifred just calls over her book, and the witches chant a spell that turns him into a small black cat.
Far
forcing
more
him-
likable now.
Oh, yeah.
I also have in my notes that Emily is still fidgeting in the background post-mortem the whole time she's dead. She's got like her head, tilted down so that her hair covers her face, but you can see her. She's still like playing with her dress, and at one point she kind of like peeks out from under the wig to be like, "Are we still filming?"
I think that the rhyming spell is very Macbeth coded.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
We don't have Macbeth where we come from.
Oh.
You'll have to explain this to me.
It's a play.
We have McDonald's.
That's all we have.
Pretty interesting.
It kind of ends the same, I
It's
think.
the kind of fast food burger that you will eat tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow.
Creeps in this petty pace from day to day.
So, Binks is forced to live with his guilt forever.
I love as he's transforming, the camera pans down, but it's so focused on them, and you get that nice POV.
Yeah.
And it's so creepy.
See?
It really is. It's so good.
1993, they did it right.
If you'd like your own Binks, you can look up Kitties of any PA Pet Rescue.
Oh.
Yeah, you scumbags.
Yeah, you beat me to the line. I was like a romantic comedy we just had. I was like, oh.
Well, she's a trained professional at this. Suddenly, the angry townspeople start banging on the door and calling the witches out. Next thing you know, all three wind up with nooses around their necks. They quickly chant one last spell, and then it's all over. Or so they think.
The thrice eye with mercury purify and spit upon the 12 tables. The 12 tables are the foundation of ancient Roman law.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so tables as in tablets.
Nice. Very cool.
We have McDonald's.
And they don't wash their hands repeatedly.
In your universe, do they still have like the shake salads? Like the shakeable ones?
Yeah. Yeah, they
In
have.
our reality, nobody eats salad.
Now,
called Shakespeare's.
the only thing I will eat from McDonald's is the little personal pizzas. I love those.
Yeah.
Those are great.
We have those
Does the ice cream machine work in yours?
all the time.
Yeah.
Damn it!
In fact, they're just pumping out too much ice cream.
Damn.
Fuck you, EJ. Fuck you, Rory.
Yeah, what
I
the
don't think
fuck?
we're doing
damn
well.
it.
That feels. I don't think they're
gonna ask us back.
Yeah.
And your fucking ice cream machines. Get out of here.
And your Dan Fogelberg.
Your Pac-Man video games.
That's right.
Fast forward to modern day-ish, aka 1993, when a teacher discusses the history of the Sanderson sisters with her class, and Max Dennison claims it's all fake and, quote-unquote, for the candy companies.
What an asshole.
I have teacher traumatizes children. That's what I have.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Funny thing about the teacher, though, so as we're watching Hocus Pocus, husband Max said, oh, hey, I recognize the teacher, the actress, Kathleen Freeman. And so I said, oh, what episode of Star Trek is she from? Because that's usually what he recognizes people from. And then he will go into his mind palace and tell me season, episode, title, what it was about, what the opening scene was, and what exactly that person said as their first and last line on the screen.
Impressive.
So he could not find anything in his mind palace, and we finally went to IMDb and found out that she's the Penguin from 1980s The Blues Brothers.
Oh.
Neato.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
So yes, she has been traumatizing children for a long time, Elle.
Which episode of Star Trek was she on?
None.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Damn it.
I was like waiting. I wanted it to be true. I wanted it to be true.
Or maybe I'll say not yet, because we still got some Trek going out there.
Yeah, there's like 40 shows.
They're still trekking.
Yeah.
Checkie's
So
got
maybe she'll be on Strange New Worlds next season.
You got to trek yourself before you check yourself.
Fellow student Allison steps in and starts dropping that knowledge, and Max then decides to give her his phone number.
Oh, I like when Allison mansplains Halloween to Max.
Apparently he likes it too.
Yeah.
It's not mansplaining when a woman does it. It's she elaborating.
Oh, she elaborating. Yeah, I like when
What
she
a
elaborates.
universe.
I like it here in sequels.
My notes, it just says, Allison told off Max. Sort of.
Oh, by the way, you know how I know Max is from California? His tie-dye shirt.
I will compliment him for his awesome Sean Hunter hair.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There was a little Boy Meets World going on in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so Allison has a deal, right? Like, there's something off about her this whole movie, and I was trying to put my finger on it. And
Oh, she's 30?
no. No,
She's
I
like crow's
feel,
feet.
High school.
Hear me out.
No.
Personal theory, she is a witch. That's my personal theory I'm running with this movie. I'll elaborate as we go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, she definitely has a crystal grid in her bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling it right now.
Oh.
And then
snap.
Interesting.
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm sorry.
I
you
know it
said
sounded
that-
snarky, but I meant it.
That just sounded like the opening of a sentence.
No. I know. I can't believe it either. I meant it.
Okay.
That's interesting. I never thought of it. That kind of makes sense.
Have you
'Cause
never
I
been interested before?
Never.
You sound shocked.
I know. I've actually never been interested in anything before.
Except kitties of any PA.
That's about it. If it involves cats, I'll listen to you. Otherwise, just don't talk to me, please. Especially if you're my friend.
It's true.
But yeah, definitely elaborate on that a little bit more, because there is something weird about Allison. She's always kind of like smirking, and like she kind of looks like she knows what's going on. I don't know. Maybe that'll pop up in Hocus Pocus 3 because it's being made.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Boo.
How?
I don't
What?
know. Someone said, "Hey, we made a bunch of money from this last pile of crap." Oops, moving on.
Also, I have Max shoots his shot.
Yep. So after class, Max rides his bike all through town, ending up in a cemetery where he runs into local bullies Jay and Ernie, aka Ice.
And what were they
Yeah.
doing in that cemetery? It seems like they were just like waiting for something to happen.
They were
there.
just
that's true.
hiding there.
like
Like,
behind a tombstone.
like, what if no one went by? You know what I mean? They just like, it's just like we're hiding there the whole time.
Maybe that's why they were so like excited and like dived into being bullies.
Like,
Because like,
Ice-
holy shit, someone finally stopped by.
Ice, it's 4:00. Can I go home now? No, we gotta hide and jump out at somebody.
What if it wasn't somebody from class and it was just somebody there to grieve? Give us your shoes.
I like to think that their major thing is they want to prove how bad they are, so they go loiter places, but they've got kicked out of everywhere else. So like, we're gonna loiter at the cemetery because there's no people there. Tell us to leave.
Yeah.
Also, Jay and Ice are like quintessential 90s high school bullies.
Oh yeah.
But Jay's wearing like flannel and a leather jacket and has long hair, so he's kind of grunge. But then Ice has like his name shaved in his head, and he has a kind of a hip hop, like b-boy kind of style.
Yeah, like
Cool Dr. Money.
I do not see a universe where these two are friends.
Well, it's funny
Small
because
school.
did you know Kurt Cobain and Vanilla Ice hung out all the time?
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
Do you think
Is it
that?
true in your universe?
I feel like I can bridge the two. Do you think like they were in class one day and they're like, "You have a shitty home life? I do. Me too.
Oh.
Let's be friends." 'Cause
By
that's
the
what
way,
it seemed like.
I have to bring up, so he goes, hey, I'm from Los Angeles. And I'm like, how do you, so Jay is confused. He's like, what? And he goes, you know, LA? And then he's like, oh, yeah. And then he makes a reference to Hollywood. So it's like, how do you know Hollywood and LA, but you don't know Los Angeles?
It was the 90s, man.
It was
It was a
fucking
different
90s,
time, as
man.
Vince would say.
Yeah. It's a different time.
So they pressure Max for a smoke, some money, and end up stealing his new cross trainers, making Max grow even more homesick for LA. So Max finally gets home and retreats to his bedroom. His sister Danny hides and pops out of his closet.
Thank God she did.
Yeah, he was absolutely building up a J.O. fantasy.
He was
Yeah.
getting ready to start. You
He's
know.
like, oh, Allison, oh, you're so soft.
What if Danny was just like in the closet, like horrified?
Robyn,
like,
did that do anything for you?
she's like hiding. I was gonna scare him, but this got weird real quick.
Do you want to switch seats?
There's just something about this guy. I don't know.
So dreamy.
So dreamy.
We're
Hey,
learning
didn't-
some things about Robyn today, folks.
Oh. Anybody else notice that cool Hellraiser skateboard?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
man,
wrote
that's
that
cool.
down in my notes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad you.
I was
guys picked up
distracted
on
by
it.
the sailboat wallpaper.
Oh yeah, it's weird.
Oh, yeah.
Cool room though.
Yeah.
I was distracted by the trout themed bedspread.
You were?
I was
Picture of random, like poster of random sports star
Uh-huh.
and the tie-dye tapestry.
But I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely have seen that those trout themed sheets like somewhere in the 90s in real life. I feel like that was like the boy version of the celestial themed bedspread that everybody wanted.
They were scented like trout, too.
Or was that just yours, EJ?
Trout scented sheets. They didn't take off the way they wanted.
Oh,
them to.
Allison.
So yeah, nobody actually had those sheets, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a weird choice. It's probably one of those things where the production designer was probably just seeing what they could get away with.
Oh, maybe I just grew up around rednecks.
Yeah.
Because I definitely saw that trout pattern somewhere.
It's like a fever dream.
It's a repressed memory somewhere. I'm like, I've definitely seen those sheets on somebody's bed.
I had
don't know.
X-Men,
Yeah.
and I had some Empire Strikes Back stuff going on. That's it. True story, guys.
I remember having Anastasia and Lion King.
I
Yeah?
had the Lion King ones and Little Mermaid.
Ah, nice.
I
had
had
a-
white ones.
Oh, nice. I had an Otis
Shit.
refrigerator box.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's rough.
In our universe, EJ's real poor, and we like to take cheap shots at him.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Are you crying?
No.
In this one, we don't feed Vince.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we don't
no.
either.
His
Wow.
whole family is starving.
Oh, it's
Oh,
awesome
good.
in our universe
That's-
too.
Well, like,
Really?
Yeah.
Why would we feed him? Why would we feed him?
You don't have to. I mean, it's just like no one wants to either.
No.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're in agreement here.
There's a
Yes.
sign in our universe that says "Don't feed the Vinces."
Yeah.
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 So
See,
anyway,
it's all working out.
There we go.
what else is going on in this movie?
Right, yes. So, she pops out of the closet, then proceeds to do what typical siblings do best and mock Max for crushing on Allison. Danny then begs Max to take her trick-or-treating, but Max puts up a fight. All Danny does is scream, and she gets her way.
Hey, we're not blowing past Max just sitting down on that drum kit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it was like
yeah,
I love how he
true.
just busts out a drum solo mid conversation.
This is how I get out my angst.
Just waiting for him to be like, Danny, did you touch my drum set?
So yeah.
Do you think that was just like a weird choice? Because they're like, well, if he plays drums, he's gonna look cooler to the teens.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's what the mentality was for that, because it's very weird and awkward.
And I also love the tapestry of the tie-dye peace sign.
Oh yeah.
That I was like, oh yeah, he's from California.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with those trout sheets, trout scented sheets.
I'm never gonna watch that scene the same again.
Me either.
So they set out through town and get stopped by the same bullies from the cemetery, looking for everyone's candy. Danny defends herself, telling them, "Drop dead, morons." But it still ends up with Max paying the candy toll.
How have no adults called the police at that point? Like,
right?
they're terrorizing
Hi,
people.
welcome to the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do like when Max yells at Danny. He says, You humiliated me in front of half the guys at school. It was like 4 guys.
It's a small town.
So many girls in that school.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny? Next time you guys watch this movie,
Yeah.
when the bullies are doing their thing and Max is doing his thing, watch all the kids that are surrounding, because they obviously didn't get any direction, so they all just look real awkward and they're just like looking around and they don't know what to do. I was like fixating on them last night.
There's one extra coming up. I can't wait to talk about. But go ahead.
Well, I don't know if you have this line written down specifically, but when Max says, like, they would have killed me, Danny, and she says, at least you would have died like a man. I'm like, oh my god, Danny is my favorite animal.
Yeah.
She wins.
You know,
She's a
honestly,
beast. I love it.
Thora Birch is an excellent kid actor.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh.
She's
Yep.
so good.
Yeah.
She manages to be a very, like, precocious, annoying little sister without being annoying to
Yeah.
the audience at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
She's just adorable, and I love her, and I wanted to be here when I was a kid.
What did she say to him later on? She's like, why don't you just try taking her to a movie like a normal person?
Oh, yeah.
It's just like such a funny line.
She's
Instead of going
great.
to the murder Satan house. But this is the guy with the trout bed sheets, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What can we expect out of him?
So Danny and Max get into a fight, and it makes Danny cry. Max then consoles Danny, and they make up, with still
Before
plenty
that-
of time
before
to
that.
keep trick-or-treating.
Before that, when she yells, "I want to go home," the lady had just opened the door with the bowl of candy, and she
Oh,
looked
she
so
looked so sad.
concerned. She's,
Yeah.
oh my god, these kids! And they leave her porch, but then more kids come up, and she's like, I don't have time to deal with that.
There's too much going on.
Yeah.
But she looks so concerned. I'm like, I want to know that lady's story. I'm
Yeah.
sure she would have followed up.
Yeah, put her in the third movie.
She'll
It'll
be in the-
probably be better then.
She'll be in the Disney Plus original spin-off movie.
Yeah.
Are we at the part yet where Danny throws herself down on the hay and starts crying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
much that part.
So in real life, when I was in Salem, I was walking up the street and I turned my head and I'm like, oh shit, that's Allison's house.
yeah.
Like I didn't go looking for it, it found me. And so of course, what did I do? I threw myself on the lawn and started crying. I really did this. I wasn't really crying. I think I was crying.
Were you though?
I was actually crying.
Yep.
I was just thinking about my life. All the choices I made and didn't make.
Yeah.
Is this a good place to open up?
It's the perfect place.
All right.
You can
We
always
cry on the
open
show
up.
all the time. We have to cut out hours
Yeah.
of audio.
You guys should come on our other podcast, CREAQUELS.
CREAQUELS. That sounds amazing.
I thought it was Tearquels.
That's the other one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's really just us like, oh God.
You just cry so
What
much
did
you
I
need
do?
to.
Yeah, we have a spin-off of our other one. It's pretty cool.
Today we're going to talk about kindergarten and all the horrible things that happened there. But we're not going to get into that stuff.
Max and Danny invite themselves into this nice-looking house, and it turns out to be Allison's house. They talk for a bit, and they decide to go to the old Sanderson sisters' house.
Fun fact. Go ahead.
I think we have the same fun fact. Is it
Go
about
ahead.
Allison's dress?
No.
Oh.
Oh, I have that written down too.
Oh, go for it.
No,
then.
you go ahead.
Okay. Allison's
Fight for
dress is the same one that Michelle Pfeiffer wore in Dangerous Liaisons.
Shut
Really?
up, really?
That movie rocks, by the way.
So
It does.
the interior of Allison's house is the same one used in Scream 2 for Cece's fraternity
Oh,
house.
that's cool.
Yeah, isn't
Nice.
that awesome? Yeah.
Hey, that's neat.
And then
Oh, we have the same
I
one.
also have to point out, I love the extra that hands out the cider. He looks directly in the camera and then smiles and shrugs. He goes like, so he hands them the thing. You don't see him for a second, and then it goes back to him, and he goes, and he looks right at the camera. Please, if you're at home, go look for the scene.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm telling you, he looks.
Whose
He's dressed
PA
up as like.
is that?
He's dressed up as like George Washington, maybe, or whatever. And he looks like right at the camera. And he literally smiles and shrugs.
That's amazing.
It's the best background actor I've ever seen.
The only note that I have for this scene is it says, "What's up with the Barry Lyndon / Eyes Wide Shut party?"
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of has a little bit of a thing
Her
going on.
parents throw it every year.
Is that why she was in such a hurry to get the hell out of the house?
Maybe. She's on candy duty.
Yeah, why isn't Allison creeped out by Max? Because at one point, Danny, she's like, yeah, Max really likes your yabos. And, like, instead of just being, she just smiles. And it's not like, what? Ugh.
Maybe
right?
she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about.
Yeah,
what's a yabo?
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's this conversation they have before they leave or if it's when Max is leaving school. But she mentions that her parents used to run the museum, but they had to stop because too many weird things happened.
It's during the scene. Yeah.
So maybe this party that her family throws every year might actually be a ritual because they're witches.
Oh.
And so that's why they can't be disturbed and she has to stay outside the circle, you know?
Or it's like one of those society parties. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
So if weird stuff started happening there, they could be like, okay, we can't mess with that energy. We have our own place.
Oh, I never thought about that before.
Yeah. And she's so dodgy about, like, explaining more, you know?
I wonder why.
Why aren't you talking about your parents? And I think they're trying to play it off as, you know, she's really loaded, but she doesn't want to make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's witchcraft.
Oh, that's a good theory. I like it.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like that Allison's such a big Halloween buff, and as soon as she can, she just takes that Halloween costume off, changes into her street clothes. I would have called her out for that shit. So high and mighty in the classroom, lecturing Max about the importance of Halloween.
Yeah.
Tells him to fuck himself right in the middle of class. Remember that scene?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Do you guys have that scene in your version?
Yeah, she slaps him right across the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she tells the
She calls
teacher
him
to
a
go
cuck?
fuck herself. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah. It's weird because he's like super into it.
Yeah. He's just like, get me again.
Don't stop.
Getting back to the story here. Allison gets them into the building, and everything is covered in cobwebs. Max finds the legendary black flame candle, and just as he's about to light it, Binks pounces on him.
Yeah.
Danny begs him to leave, but he still thinks it's all just a bunch of hocus pocus, and lights that candle.
We have a title.
Yeah, we have a title.
He's got the
Name
titular
drop.
line.
Also, when he's reading the placard on the black flame candle, it says that it's made from the fat of a hanged man. And that's another reference to Macbeth, because during the whole speech that they have in Act 4, Scene 1, where they're doing the spell, they say, grease that's sweating from the murderer's gibbet. So, back in the old days, they used to just, when they hanged criminals, they would let the body hang there, and so as the body's decomposing, the grease would drip down, so...
Oh, just
fun
like
fact.
McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The McDribble.
The McDribble is that what you said?
So, I have a question for you.
Oh, it's so good.
So, when lighting the candle, Max is trying to impress Allison with his virginity?
Well, see, here's my thought on that. I actually have a note about that too. So first of all, I think it's very funny that she's like, oh yeah, the Sanderson house, weird stuff happens there. But like, she's clearly into it. And so Max is like, I am willing to die to punch my V card. So yes, let's go to the Satan house. But he clearly is not a believer. So he obviously did not think anything was going to happen when he lit this candle.
He's
so
like that
he
kid
thought
at the party who, as soon as they're talking about the legend of Bloody Mary, goes in the bathroom and be like, there's no such thing, I'll show you.
But like, I just know that he was like, oh, this will be such a move. I'll light the candle, the witches won't come back, and then I'll be like, oh, whoops, I forgot I'm not a virgin. And then it'd be like, yeah, I've done it. And Allison will be like, ooh, he's done it. Because that's how teenagers think.
Right.
See,
That's how I thought when I was a teenager. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do all this like weird like stuff. Like I'll do the opposite of what I should do, and then everybody will be like, oh, that was so cool.
Whoa.
Yeah. What?
So the weird thing about me for the scene was the absence of the ABC Family logo.
Was that the only thing that was weird for you?
Yeah. I was like, "Where's the ABC Family logo?" Watching the movie the whole time, I'm like, "Where the fuck is it?"
That's nice. That's a nice observation.
Yeah,
because most people probably see it that way.
Right. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think this might be like the great generational divide, because for me it was, where's the Disney Channel logo?
Well,
The Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't have
Yeah.
a TV.
They just like would marathon this on ABC Family all the time. It would be playing every October for 24 hours. It's just like Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, see, I would watch it on both.
See, that's weird because for
Yeah.
me, when I was watching this as a kid, I'm like, "Where's my dad?" Oh.
Is it time for a cry break?
No.
This is the part
Okay,
where we cry.
Vince, cut this part out.
Welcome back to CREAKQUELS.
So the wind starts to blow, the lights go out, and the floorboards start to shake and glow. And the kids run and hide when the Sanderson sisters reappear. Mary smells children nearby and hunts down Danny.
I smell trout sheets.
I'm telling you, that's why she can smell them so much.
So they capture her and threaten to toss her into their cauldron. Winifred attacks Max. Danny and Allison fight off the witches just long enough to escape.
Okay, two things.
Yeah.
First, I love that Danny's smart enough to pretend to be a witch.
Oh yeah, thinking on
Yeah.
her feet.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
really clever.
Smart.
Second, when she attacks Max, it's again with the force lightning. And I have this in my notes. Notice how no one said, but somehow Winnie returned.
Hey, in your universe, was Rise of Skywalker terrible?
It's a matter of opinion, I guess. I don't know.
It's a musical.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
You can
not-
actually watch it on YouTube. Go to Team Star Kid.
Yes, Team Star Kid.
Adam Driver kills it. I actually watched their version here, and he's so like you wouldn't think he's good at musicals, but he kills it.
Yeah. Hey, side note, did you see Megalopolis yet?
Yes.
Did you like his reading of "Going to the Club"?
He does that. He does the little head.
Entitled?
Yeah.
Yes. Entitled.
Right.
Entitled?
Entitled.
It's the best.
I'm not
No,
like
the
you.
different way he
Going to
says
the
yes. He's like,
club.
yes.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I've just seen that clip a
Oh,
million
it's
times
awesome.
because the internet
so
loves
good.
it.
Yeah. But he's phenomenal. He's a really good musical singer.
I liked when Palpatine started singing. That's what I really liked.
Yeah. I like when he's like, I'm going to finish what you started. And then
Finish what I started.
bam, bam.
Break it down.
I'm gonna say it though. I think the dance battle could have been better.
Yep.
Finish what
Could've
you
been.
started. Sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. Max hangs back and tricks the witches with his rain of death. Max also discovers the black cat can talk, so the kids follow the cat to somewhere safe. Meanwhile, the witches start after them, but they come across a black concrete river where their stone path used to be.
I love the sprinkler trick. And the fact that the witches don't understand modern technology is used so successfully in this film.
I wrote that down too. I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's not just played for a gag, it also fits into the story
Yeah.
so many times.
Yeah.
What does she say, Sarah Jessica Parker, when she's like gonna step on the road? She's like,
Tis firm!
yeah. She's like, perhaps it's not too deep or something like that. Sarah Jessica Parker, I don't know if people are aware of this or not, but she's like a really, really, really funny actress.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
she's in, did you guys ever see Ed Wood?
Yes!
She is so fucking funny in that movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, I thought he was dead. No. Anyway, you watch
Very
Ed
much
Wood.
so.
Anybody that's listening to this podcast right now, turn it off and go watch Ed Wood. So good.
Do you often tell people to turn off your podcast?
All the time, yeah. It's actually very popular where we come from.
Also,
So
that
we get a
walk
lot of
down the
reviews
road.
about it, actually. People are like, thank you for saving my time. I couldn't stand another second of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, our reviews are really good.
Nice.
Three,
Well
s-
then.
-3 stars.
Yeah. We're almost at -5.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We're getting there.
You guys will get there. It takes time. You know?
Well, I don't know.
But what were you gonna say, Elle?
The
I want
walk
to go
down
on
the road.
Chronicles.
The Sanderson strut, as
Oh,
you call it.
yes, the Sanderson strut.
I love it.
Iconic.
It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
awesome.
So Binks leads the kids to a graveyard where they should be safe, and shows
Whoa,
them the
come
tombstone.
on, this is a graveyard, says the kid who just rode home through a graveyard.
I also
He's nervous about the bullies. He knows that's the bully hangout. That's where they are.
They just stole his candy, so he knows they're not there now.
I feel like in these movies, it's like you kind of have to roll with it, but he's really cool about a talking cat.
yeah.
I would never get over that.
I like it when he introduces like his sister and Allison. He's like, yeah, the cat talks too, and that
They're just like,
it
okay.
takes care of everything.
Which
Yeah.
I guess falls
he
into
did
your
just
your-
summon 3 witches from the dead and then get force shocked and thrown up against a wall 10
So
feet in the air.
comparatively.
So maybe he's like, a talking cat, I can handle a talking cat. And then also
Yeah, why
maybe
not?
like after all of that, when it's like, let's go hang out in a spooky cemetery in the dark, he's like, are we like, can we call it while we're behind instead of just like digging the hole deeper here, folks?
Would you
And the
like to
cat talks.
comment on the cat acting?
It's
cat
phenomenal.
acting is
the best.
Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we come from, our home planet, Earth is what we call it.
Terrible name.
Cats have their own category at the Oscars, and this cat has won on more than a few occasions, right? Six Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The actor playing Binks is Cat Stevens.
nice.
He switched his name now.
Is this the same?
Joseph or something.
Is this the same cat that was in Pet Cemetery?
Oh yeah, he's like
No,
like
that's
the
Church.
no. He's like the Lon Chaney of cats.
Oh yeah.
Cat of 1,000 faces.
Yeah, because his fur's pretty much gray in that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He died it.
Elle, I think you're thinking of Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, that's right. He's
I'm a
phenomenal.
big fan
Yes,
of him.
he's
Yeah,
very
he's
good.
good.
He's
Very method.
He just came out of retirement.
I
You
I
know
heard
who I was thinking of? It was actually Pedro Pascal.
he's good too.
Yes.
Hey, how about Janet Davis?
She's all right, man. She's all right. She's good. She's all right.
I wanted to have fun too.
But yeah, he's like, oh yeah, the cat talks too, and somehow Palpatine.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, like, going with Max's point, I feel like if I had to choose between, like, freaking out over a talking cat or a talking human, I would pick the talking cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like I would be like overjoyed if my cat started talking to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't mean that to sound like I was to say like, oh my god, like that should be like horrifying. I would be so excited.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, now Elle and I can talk at night.
I do like at the cemetery.
She's my cat, everybody.
Thackeray Binks. He talks about like what happened. So not only did he lose his sister, but he also lost his British accent too.
It went away with the curse.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
And then, well, you go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
keep
you
going.
finish.
To
No,
that-
I was just gonna. No, go ahead.
To that point, they so Sean Murray is the like face actor for Binks, and Jason Marsden does the voice throughout the whole movie. So even during the live action bits for Binks, the voice was dubbed over in post because the producers said that they really tried with Sean Murray, but he just sounded way too modern. They were like, this kid definitely has played PlayStation before. We cannot do this. And so I kind of am really dying to know what he sounded like that was just way too 90s, where he was just like, oh man, it's my sister Emily. She went to the Sanderson sisters' house, man.
I would think it would sound like this. Oh man, I'm straight bussing. I don't know, man. There's no cap.
Do you
I
know
didn't
what
watch
you
the
said?
sequel, EJ. I already said.
I don't know
But
what
yeah,
he just
Jason
said.
Marsden said that they they wanted a little bit of an affected accent, and they wanted it to be a little bit more so in the opening scene, and then show that like Binks has been there the whole time, the whole 300 years. He's been listening. He's been, like sort of on the outskirts of human culture, but he has been witness to it. So that's kind of why the accent is a little less affected.
There's a scene where it's a deleted scene. He was outside of a tavern and he was like taking notes on how people were talking. He was holding a pen with his little paws. They're in between his little toe beans, and he was just writing down. So people sound stupid now, and dummies. That's what they all sound like.
They all sound like they played PlayStation.
Keep going with the plot.
Yes, back to the plot. So they go where they think they're safe, and Binks shows them the tombstone of William Butcherson, Winifred's ex-lover. In the meantime, Winifred explains to her sisters the importance of getting her spellbook back before sunrise, so they all agree to keep searching. Back at the graveyard, Binks is explaining more of what happened in the past, but the conversation gets interrupted with the witches flying right overhead.
I have the line that Sarah says, "Brave virgin who lit the candle, I'll be thy friend." And I wrote, "Sarah, ew, horny jail now."
So, knowing they can't set foot on hallowed
Horny
ground.
jail. Is that what they call it here?
Yeah, right to horny jail.
They can't set foot on hallowed ground. Winifred wakes Billy Butcherson from his eternal slumber and orders him to go after them. Binks leads the kids down into the sewer tunnels, and Max stalls Billy by knocking his head clean off.
By the way, Doug Jones.
Doug Jones!
Frickin' rules.
In my notes, I just have
rules.
Doug Jones.
Same.
Yeah.
Doug Jones frickin' rules.
He rules in
I
our
love
universe
Doug
too.
Jones.
Doug Jones is incredible.
The only thing to unite our universes is the love for Doug Jones.
Agreed. The sisters land
And somehow
just
Palpatine
outside.
has returned.
Oh, sorry. The sisters land just outside the cemetery and decide to focus now on gathering the rest of the children in Salem, but not without a calming circle first. Then a bus comes along and the sisters decide to take it into town. Just as the kids and Binks are coming out from the tunnels, Binks gets hit by the very same bus, and the kids think all hope is lost. But the witch's curse keeps him still alive.
That's a very accurate bus driver.
Oh, by the way, he's
Unfortunately.
possibly the horniest bus driver I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Possibly a sex pervert for
Yeah,
sure.
so like I said, a bus driver.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
super.
He definitely did not collect any fare from them, so I don't know what his grand plan was.
And I also have to note, so the bus driver hits Binks, right? And he goes, "Ooh, speed bump." And I'm like, is he going around town just driving over cats?
Oh no! How many children has he hit? Because it's Halloween.
Oh no!
It's just, I was like, he has like no remorse. He's like drove right over a cat. He's like, "Ooh, speed bump."
Would you like a shot of like his POV and he's just like running over cats
Yeah.
and just driving?
It's just Binks all the time.
Well, Binks does say this is not the first time that this has happened. Like when he reinflates,
yeah.
he's
That's
like,
true.
I hate it when that happens.
He's
So
talking
it's
about
like-
that bus driver.
Yeah, he's like, that's one bus driver.
Bus driver's got it out for me.
But let's back that up because he reinflates. So like the moment before that, where they're just staring at the poor dead kitty cat, and Danny is traumatized. This was her friend who could talk, and now he's no more. And first off, it's hard enough explaining death to a child, and I have to explain reincarnation too.
Yeah.
And I just think like it was an emotional fake out. It was a little bit of whiplash in that scene. But you're like, oh yeah, he can't die. Oh no, he can't die.
Yeah, that's good.
And for the record, I can't wait to explain death to my kids. You know?
I would also like to point out the fact that Sarah was sitting on top of the bus driver's lap, so maybe that's why he hit the cat. I don't know. Like he wasn't
Don't
paying
defend
attention.
him. Don't defend him.
Oh.
This is true. This is true.
So it's like him lighting the candle. Like, he's like, "I'm gonna hit this cat to impress her."
Oh.
I keep running over this cat. He never learns.
Welcome to the 90s.
Yep.
Ugh.
Or is that like a pickup line for him? Like, this isn't the only pussy I murder.
Shit.
Oh, man. You don't have to. I would ask you not to, but drop that mic.
Yeah.
That was one. Whew.
Vince told me not to touch it.
Oh, well. We'll see. I think he's in a different universe.
Yeah,
now.
fuck him.
Fuck Vince.
Fuck Vince.
Fuck you, Vince.
Fuck you, Vince.
Wait, fuck your Vince or fuck our Vince?
It's an
Because
orgy.
fuck our Vince.
I'm just gonna say
them
fuck,
fuck each
fuck you,
other.
Vince.
Yeah, fuck you,
Fuck you,
Vince.
Vince.
I don't want our Vince to feel left out.
Yeah.
What does your Vince look like? Is he short?
He's 5'7",
Okay.
blonde.
I'm just picturing like that short Wolverine and Wolverine Deadpool and Deadpool
yeah.
Wolverine. What the fuck's that movie's called?
Yeah.
What's it called? Deadpool Wolverine?
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. Right?
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was Wolverine and Deadpool.
Have you ever seen a pop vinyl?
Oh, that's what Vince looks like?
He's a pop vinyl.
His head is oversized and he has a little body.
Every moment I live is agony.
I have a big head and little arms.
He's been trying to jump up on the table this whole show.
Pick me up.
He just wheels around with his head in the chair. His body.
So dead cat.
Yeah.
We got all the yucks we can get out of this dead cat.
Mary screams and the bus comes to a halt. She smells children.
Trout.
And
Sheets again.
she smells trout. And when they get off the bus, they're all shocked and appalled by these strange new creatures running around with no children to be found. But they come across what appears to be their master and goes to grovel for him. He immediately recognizes their style as the legendary Sanderson sisters, so he makes some jokes and he invites them in to his home. And you know what? I feel like with that much being said about the movie, I think it's time to give the frequels a turn. I'm going to now pass this baton over to the frequels' own EJ Leeson. Let's see what you got, kid.
All right.
Thankfully, EJ. Ooh. Thankfully, EJ actually has notes for every movie ever made that he just carries around all the time. So, do you have notes for Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, I do. I just have to find. My pants are just filled with paper.
Yeah.
So hold on.
First
Here
off,
we
did-
go.
Did
With
that
all
do
the
anything
kids-
for you, EJ?
With all the kids trick-or-treating, did you notice the Mrs. Potts?
Mm-hmm.
There was a
yeah.
kid dressed as Mrs. Potts
Yeah.
from Beauty
I
and the
noticed the
Beast.
Michael Myers, but it was like a bad Michael Myers. So it
I
didn't make
noticed
sense.
the little angel that was like, bless
Bad
you."
Mike.
Oh, that's a great
Bad
moment. They all freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like really funny. He's like screaming.
So, all right. So the teens ask the bicycle cop for some help, and he tells them to buzz off, and we find out that he's actually not a real cop anyways. But I do like how he's like, "Oh, so you're a virgin?" And Max is
Makes
like,
fun of him.
Yeah, he makes fun of him. And Max is like, "Yeah, you know, like I lit the candle. I'm a virgin." Sanderson sisters is like,
I'm getting tattooed on my head.
yes. So at the Devil's house, the sisters meet his wife, who's played by Penny Marshall, who is incredible. Like, she was made for that role. Like, she's so perfect.
Yeah,
like,
she's like really funny.
Yeah.
she's so good. And
And IRL, that's his sister.
yeah, in real life, that's his sister,
Yeah.
Penny Marshall's sister. So who's playing the devil. And outside, little kids steal their brooms. We see like 3 little kids dressed up as
Yeah.
the Sanderson sisters.
Even if it's Halloween, it's not okay to steal shit from people's yards, if they're decorations or not. Candy, that's free reign, but it's not okay to just steal decorations. What the fuck, kids?
I have a question for you guys. What do you think happened to those kids?
Well,
Moments
you
later, they
hear-
fell to their
you
death.
hear them go whoosh, like
Yeah, you
as
hear-
they walk off screen. You hear the brooms take flight. So the kids definitely learned a lesson that night.
do you
And
think they died?
we never see
I'm
them
pretty
again,
sure they're dead.
and the brooms are not found by the end of the film. So like,
It's like a Grimm's fairy
They're
tale
in-
ending.
they're in the bay. Like,
Yeah, you know what?
They flew all the way to Hogwarts.
I feel like that's where the sequel should have taken place.
Yeah,
well,
you
that
know.
would have been fun. These 3 little girls, were like, "Oh shit, it's real.
Yeah.
Let's be witches."
Oh, that would have been good.
And the movie just
then
completely
they start
changes.
a podcast called SHEQUELS.
Ooh. Who's who?
We'll never tell.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, they definitely steal those brooms, and
I would like to think that they like fell to their death.
I thought so
then-
too.
And then the cops are just like, ugh, I don't know. There's a lot of dead cats, a lot of dead kids.
That
What are you
one
gonna
fake
do?
motorcycle cop is
Hell
just
of a
like,
Halloween.
yep, those are some dead kids.
You know what though? I do feel like this movie, if it has one failing, it's that should have come back. Like there should have just been
Yeah.
like a scene when like they're like out doing their thing and you see those kids like pass through the moon or whatever, like E.T. Just
Oh my
something. And then you see them all fall. Yeah, holding on to it. How do I stop this thing? Judy fell to her death 3 miles ago.
So, inside, we see Sarah. She's dancing with the master, and his wife kicks them out. I do like how Mary sees the little kid on the TV, and she freaks the fuck out. Like, she's like, ah! Like, she screams.
Because the
and it's so good.
television's probably scary.
Yeah, and
Summon a spirit.
so the wife kicks them out of the house, and they realize Halloween night has now become a night of frolic and amok.
She says Ralph Sickum, and great dog actor.
Oh,
I have terrific woof woof actor.
Hit his mark, knew his lines.
Yep.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Method
Well-
too.
No notes.
That was Kathy Najimy's actual dog that would like hang out in her trailer and stuff. That was
Yeah.
her pet. So like it was used to being on sets and stuff. So I
Terrific
think he
actor.
makes several cameos like throughout her career.
Is that his name too, Ralph Sickum?
I actually don't know. I
Okay.
I don't think he's
Ralph
credited
Sickum.
in the film. He's left out of the union.
See, that's not right.
It's not SAG.
Mr. Sickum, you're due to set now. So, meanwhile, the kids, Max, Allie, and Danny, try to go to the dance to find and warn their parents about what happened, but they really, like, the parents don't believe them at all. And that's when the Sanderson sisters show up.
Is it any surprise that I really love the dad's costume?
Oh, he's
Were you
phenomenal.
shocked? Were you shocked
I
at
actually
all?
love that
I'm not.
actor. Like he's, I mean, well, both parents are like awesome, but when he pulls him aside, like Max aside, he's like, "So Max, tell me what's going on." I'm like, I like him. I don't know. I think he's a good
He's
guy.
also dressed like Dracula.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
which is
soft spot in my
yeah.
heart.
Elle, calm down.
Hey, in your universe, do you have a movie called Dracula Sucks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Really obscene.
I see.
So we see where the Sanderson sisters they show up, and they take the dance over, and they perform "I Put a Spell on You."
Wait.
which,
When they, I think it's Max when he's on stage. He like
Oh,
calls them out
yeah.
being in the audience, and they all kind of like sheepishly like lower.
Or
their
they're
heads.
hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like
That made
putting
me
their
laugh.
like yeah,
Lower
and then the
my nose.
spotlight just shines on them, and then she's like, "Thank you for that great introduction." And they're like, "Hey, just come up on stage." I'm like, "Is that all it takes?" It's like, "Hey, there's a Madonna out in the crowd, and she's trying to kill me." And then the spotlight shines on her. They're like, "Hey, come up on stage."
No, Madonna is their mom.
Yeah.
Their mom's dressed as Madonna.
Yeah,
But that'd be like if they were in Philly instead of Salem. And
right.
it's like, hey, it's Gritty. Come up on stage.
Yeah.
Shoot him.
Get up here.
If you want to know why Bette Midler was cast in this movie, it's this scene.
Yeah.
Because boy, did she kill it.
And I
She
love
does.
that in the hanging scene, they established that the sisters can sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bette Midler actually wrote some of those lyrics. Like they had something for her to work with, and she looked at it and was like, "What if I did this?" And then
Oh,
she,
really?
Yeah, she rewrote some of those lines.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
They probably just very intelligently stepped back and said,
yeah, no,
just do
basically
what you're
they
gonna
were
do.
like, "We're so sorry." Like
What I
Yeah.
love about this scene is not only is it a fun musical number, but it explains why the parents aren't doing anything
Yeah.
and the kids have to handle this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that's
in
good.
most movies, you have the logic bubble where you're like, why didn't you go to the cops? Why didn't you go to the parents? And they cover those two things.
They're
Yeah.
in a trance.
Exactly.
yeah.
They're supposed to
Gotta
dance
dance.
until they die.
It doesn't. What it doesn't explain is why didn't they go to Allison's parents, who are who are not at this party because they're having their own party.
They're having the orgy. We already established
Yeah,
that.
they're having like
They were
weird
deep
sex.
into the orgy
Yeah.
part.
Yeah,
of it.
they're too
So,
busy.
Oh, and
Yeah.
they had Danny with them too, so they can't show her that. You know?
Yeah.
Who brought the trout sheets?
And also Max the Virgin too. You know?
It smells like trout in here. What
Oh,
the fuck?
man.
Although this the musical number does make me think about how this would have looked with the producers' original picks, like their Dreamcast version when they were first figuring out what the movie was going to look like, they actually wanted Rosie O'Donnell for Mary. And
Okay.
I don't know that they had
That's
a
good.
specific person that they were like trying to get as Sarah, but the first person that they had do read-ins was Jennifer Lopez as Sarah.
Oh. Wow.
Leo DiCaprio was supposed to be Max, but he turned that down to do Gilbert Grape.
Oh, what a mistake.
Awful choice.
Yeah.
And then
I thought you were going to say Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to have Bette Midler's part.
No, Winnie was supposed to be Cloris Leachman.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would
Cloris
have been
Leachman
really
was in
good.
talks to do this before she dropped out because I think of scheduling conflicts. And then somebody just sort of on a whim was like, let's send it to Bette Midler. And then she was like, say less, I'm there. I'm
Nice.
there. And yeah, they like let her make her own costuming decisions and stuff like that because they were just like, go for it. Because she showed up ready to roll.
Oh.
That's really cool. I
Hell
did
yeah,
not know
Bette
that.
Midler.
And before we move on, EJ, you know what I have to ask you. How would you rate the dance number?
It's really good.
Oh.
It's not once bitten.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not once bitten. But
Oh my God.
it is really, really good.
Oh my God.
I like it. I think it's a good.
Are you saying that maybe if Bette Midler started doing a little like air guitar with her leg guitar,
Yeah,
like that would have saved it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good dance sequence. Hey,
It's
if anybody
definitely
listening,
better than Rise of Skywalkers.
it sure is.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to listen to our Freakquels episode on Once Bitten, you could listen to it. Hey, it's kind of funny. I was thinking about this. So you were on the Once Bitten episode, and when this episode drops, you will have already heard our Night of the Demons with Jon Snow, and now we got Elle Snow again. So this Halloween, it's gonna snow. Let it snow.
It's full of snow.
It's been a snowy October.
I like it.
Winter is coming.
But I do have to say, yeah, as far as a musical number, and I think I appreciate them. I do love, especially like Halloween movies.
Yeah.
I think it's like cool to see a Halloween dance or party at one point in the movie and have a dance number. I think it's awesome. I don't
So
know.
let me ask you a question. So in Halloween 2018,
Yes.
right? So the dance number in this scene, how does it compare to the boyfriend throwing Allison's cell phone into cheese?
Oh man, it's just like
Is it better?
it's so much better.
Okay.
So much better.
I just wanted to-
So
that was their clever way of not dealing with parents in the
Yeah.
2018 movie.
yeah,
There was no
it's
spell
awful.
cast. Yeah,
it's the worst. So at one point, the boyfriend literally grabs like the girl's phone and throws it in a bowl of Jello.
Yeah.
And
I think her boyfriend was played by Sarah Gilbert.
Yeah.
Isn't that who it was?
And yeah, and so the rest of the movie, she doesn't have a cell phone. I'm like, it's just Jello. It's not like a big deal.
Like,
But
she
that's
can't
how
just
they
fish it
got
out of there?
rid of their phone.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Take 2 seconds to fish that out of the Jello. No, is it Jello? It looks like cheese.
Yeah, it could have been cheese, maybe.
Maybe that was just the movie.
It was terrible.
Moving on.
So, anyways, they start singing "I Put a Spell on You," and it's amazing. And then we get, I do love one of my favorite parts of that. The band looks so cool because they're like pilgrim skeletons.
Yeah, that's
And
neato.
it's a really cool.
It actually looks
costume.
like Ghost,
Yeah,
the band.
Ooh.
it was Ghost actually.
Just a bunch
That
of
was
nameless
Papa.
ghouls on stage.
Yeah.
That was Papa. That was him.
They got
It was.
Tobias Forge.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
I do that
I do
reference
like
in there for Becca. She really likes them.
Listen, those guitarists rock. Okay,
They
they
do.
are good.
and I appreciate the Mary and Sarah kind of on the backup vocals, and they're like more.
Yeah.
like just really selling.
EJ was just lifting his hand up
escalation.
like them.
Yeah,
Doing the more,
it's so
more.
good.
Yeah, Sarah Jessica Parker looks like she's having a great time in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I think she's my favorite character in the entire film.
I like Billy Butcher.
Shut up. No one asked
Yeah,
you.
I actually. Oh my gosh, I love Billy Butcher too.
Somehow Palpatine's returned.
Somehow my tears have returned.
So
Although, like, big mom fail in this moment. Like, your kids are upset. Even even if you think like, oh, they are part of this little like sketch to introduce a special act at this fundraiser or whatever the hell they're at.
Yeah.
Who's like, you're new in this town. who's talking to your kids to get them to come out and do this thing without you knowing about it at town hall? And they seem upset, especially Danny. You know, your 8-year-old is like crying. And then a strange man, just grunting uncontrollably, shows up, tries to tackle them. They all scream bloody murder and run out. He chases them, and you go, I wish I had my camera. Like, no!
Welcome to the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s was different.
I also like.
I guess I had helicopter parents. Like, I don't know.
My parents just put me on a
like, no,
leash and
no.
tied me up out to a tree. It's kind of cool.
I do like when the mom, she's like Danny's crying and upset, right? And then she's like, I'm Madonna, and she's like, I'm Madonna, and do I look good as Madonna? And she just cares about herself in that moment.
I just feel as more years go on, there's fewer and fewer kids who are gonna understand.
Yes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what's up with these parents, man?
Yeah.
Who is she supposed to be?
Yeah.
Is that person relevant?
So they run off and they hide in this alleyway. And luckily, the seafood hides their scent. Just kidding. It's just his trout. But the sisters run off, and Allison accidentally pulls down the door of an oven, and she's like, guys, I have an idea. And so the next scene...
Since that's a high school, I think it's supposed to be a kiln.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like...
Yeah, there are like
It's like a
signs
whole
and
room.
stuff
It's
that
like a
say like
freezer.
don't operate the kiln without a,
Yeah.
you know, an adult and whatnot. But
It's a big, giant one, though.
Yeah.
We had one in my high school, but it wasn't like the size of a walk-in freezer.
yeah, no, the one in our art room in high school was like the size of like a barrel,
Yeah.
and it was just
That thing's like begging for accidents.
Yeah. Like,
Where's Jimmy? Oh, whatever. Crank it.
Is that why that's half the boys in school?
oh, that's it. They're like, I don't want to take pottery this year. You go to a different school.
We've lost more kids than they do at Hogwarts.
So at the school, the kids set a trap for the witches, and they burn them alive in the kiln. And outside, we see Max, Thackeray, Binks, Allie, and Danny start celebrating. And Danny and Allie start doing cartwheels by the Friends Fountain.
Yep, the Friends Fountain is
Yeah.
in the background, which is fun.
So
Yeah.
cool.
I was like, oh. And they're just doing cartwheels.
You know, I
It's
wish
because
that
the like scenes that take place at night, they did shoot on a soundstage in Burbank. But
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So all the daytime stuff was shot on location, and then the nighttime stuff was on a soundstage. But the cemetery scenes, they had trees imported from New England
Oh,
to
cool.
give it a realistic look, I guess. So they brought these trees, roots and all, and put them on the sound stage. And the tombstones have the names of real, like,
kids
colonial...
that died in the
Well,
kiln.
Yeah. Yes.
Probably.
But yeah, the names on the tombstones are people who were like New England settlers from
Oh.
that area. So like Archibald Sinclair, I think, is in like one of the opening shots at one of the cemeteries.
Yeah.
And it lists him and his wife Rebecca, and they are actually buried at the historical cemetery in Marblehead, which is right next to Salem.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually, that was like one of the locations we went to as well, like that actual cemetery and stuff.
Didn't
And
you
we
beat up
found-
someone and take their shoes?
Well, that's the funny thing. We waited
It's
all
part
day.
of the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, we waited all day.
It's part of the Hocus Pocus tour.
But so Max returns home with Danny and Allison and Thackeray, and things are looking pretty good until we see the sisters. Their essence kind of returns back into the school, and we see where Winifred walks out. And she's speaking French.
It's so funny.
It's so good. The way she walks out.
Because they lured them in with a French, like a learn to speak French tape
Yeah.
cassette.
It's really funny.
So when I was watching this with my husband, Max, the witches burn, and it's like, yay, we won.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, are we 2/3 of the way through the movie? And I just paused it for a second to see where the time bar was, and it was literally 1 hour into a 90-minute
Yeah.
track.
Wow.
Yep.
It's like, yes, we are 2/3 of the way through the movie.
But yeah, I love that the strut she has when she walks out.
Oh yeah,
and
she's
then
so fucking
like,
done.
dusting herself off, and she's just like the looking around. It's so good. It's so
love
good.
Je veux mon livre.
I
want my book.
My book. So, Jay and Ice chat and about philosophy and politics, and that's when they Socrates. They're like, I want to tell you about like Plato a little bit. No, so they run into the witches, who then lock them up in cages.
I have in my notes for that, Jay and Ice learn why it's not okay to comment on random women's appearance.
Yeah.
We also
That's
learned that
true.
Max has like really, really smelly feet, because they track
Yeah.
them by the shoes.
Yeah,
they
that's
find
right.
his sneakers.
Yeah,
It's-
Mary's like,
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
trout sheets.
Yeah.
I thought we covered
Smell
this.
trout.
yep.
So much
And
trouble.
so they lock them up in cages, and at their place, Winifred comes up with a new plan, and she calls out to her book, and over at Max's, Allison wakes up, and she's like, oh man, it's 5 o'clock, I better get home. And Allison opens the book, she's like, oh, maybe there's a way we could help Binks.
Okay, couple things. First, when they're trying to come up with the ingredients, there's a great character moment that I love where Mary says there's no such thing as chungs, and Winnie says you're right, and Mary has this look on her face like she's so proud of herself for once, because her sister, who demeans her all the time, finally said you're right about something.
Yeah. I love
Because
it.
you know how many times in the film she says you're right, I'm wrong.
Right.
So the one time she's right. And it's like such a blink and you miss it moment, but it makes me very
It's her
happy.
arc.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a quick power nap for the kids. And Allison is the one who suggests using the book.
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
she's a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, she assumes that she's like, oh yeah, let's see if there's something to help him in here. Like, why do you
Like,
assume
I
that you
could do the magic in this book.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I do love that they open the book and it starts to glow, and she says, nothing weird so far.
Yeah.
It all
She
is
opens
making
the-
sense now.
It literally gives out like a bat signal. It's like, and then
We
she's
see
like,
the
"Eh, it's
exterior
fine."
shot of the house, and it turns into a friggin' lighthouse, and she's
Yeah.
just like, this tracks.
It's a huge beam of light. Like
Yeah.
Michael Keaton was flying by. He's like, "Is that for me?"
Wait, did Michael?
It's
No,
like-
did Michael Keaton take his glasses off and stand up? Remember in Batman Returns?
It's like, is this a Marvel movie? There's a giant sky beam.
Yeah,
No, it's not blue.
Oh, okay.
yeah. If it's blue, it's dangerous. So,
It'd be funny if they did show Michael Keaton taking his glass off, standing up. He's just like, oh shit,
oh shit, is that for me?
another lonely night at Wayne Manor.
So the sisters fly off towards
I
Max's.
love how dramatic Winnie is. Just the personification
my
of
God,
drama.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how she's like crying. She's like,
Take me
I
to the
feel
window.
the
I want
ice.
to say goodbye.
so good. So the Sandersons show up. They kidnap Danny. Get
Oh
their
wait,
book.
there's a. Oh, okay, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah,
We're not
they
there
get
yet.
their book and they blew a friggin' hole in the roof of Max's house. By the way, like, and it's just like, well, and Allison protects herself with like some salt because she saw that.
Oh yeah, that was in the
For
book.
protection.
She was
Let's
Yeah.
talk about the build up to that scene though. Winnie carving a rip in the window screen with her nail,
Oh,
and the
that's
door
so
being
good.
slightly ajar. It has such horror movie vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it reminded me of like the original Dracula and stuff like that. That was very like, you just see a hand, you just see a door like starting to swing open. Like it's very creepy.
Yeah.
In an old school way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I do also love that they're looking in the book for something specific, and all they say is, "Oh, listen to this info dump." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm watching it with my husband, and he goes, "Oh, I wonder if that's going to become relevant in the next 2 minutes." And then they immediately go downstairs and find some salt.
Yep. And then I love the psych out upstairs when they go to the bed. I thought that was actually one of the most like probably the scariest moment, right? Like a jump scare where they pull the sheet off and it's actually Sarah. I was like, oh wow. I remember getting me as a kid. So I'm sure it gets people all the time.
I thought it was really interesting that she started throwing up because of how bad the sheets smelled. She's just like, I'm gonna be scared.
No, well, Sarah very clearly has like a thing about teenage boys that is very like unsettling.
And that's why
So-
she's going to horny jail.
Yes. So maybe she smelled the sheets and was like, yeah, he's a gross teenage boy.
It's true. So Sarah sings a song to enchant all the children to go to the Sanderson house / museum.
Before that, when Allison uses the salt to make a little protective circle,
Yeah.
what does Winnie say to her?
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. No, she says,
Ooh,
what a clever
white
little
witch.
white witch.
Yeah.
So Winnie is confirming the existence of more than just the witches who worship Satan, and that Allison is a witch. So I feel like my theory is confirmed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That tracks.
Also, the clip of
Dude.
Allison doing her little salt dance is just repeated.
Yes.
Like she
Yeah.
does her
Same
little
shot
salt
twice.
dance, and then I think it cuts to a reaction shot from Max being like, "Wow, that's hot," and then they just play the exact same clip again.
Yeah, she does like the same exact thing. It's
Can I have
just
that
like,
pillow?
yeah.
So the real lesson in
They
this
took-
movie is Allison is a witch.
And
Yeah.
Max is very into it.
Yeah. And I thought it was
He was
funny
bewitched by her. What?
when Sarah jumps out of the bed, right?
Uh-huh.
And she has the pillow. He's like, "Oh, I wouldn't touch that pillow if I were you."
That'd be funny. She picks her hand up and she's like,
Trout.
This is
So,
a disgusting bed.
so Max and Allison figure out the sisters only have until dawn, and they race to save Danny.
Well, as this is what I wanted to talk about. So as they're making their plan at the window,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Allison, but her eyes, she just keeps blinking like really fast. I don't know
Yeah.
if anyone else noticed that, but I
It's
couldn't.
the magic, I imagine.
She's just doing this the whole entire time. She's telling the what's going on. You can't see me at home right now, but I'm blinking my eyes real fast.
It's true, he is.
It's really quick.
It's 5 a.m.
It's so fast you can't even see it.
I like it. And she's like, "Oh, my parents are probably worried about me."
I know. That's sad.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know if they're done with their orgy.
Also, it's 5 a.m. and all of the like zombified children that are, shuffling
I thought
through the
about this,
streets.
too.
They're all still in costume.
Yeah, and they're all still in costume, and I guess their parents are still at the party, or their
Dancing.
parents are just like,
Yeah, I don't
the
know
kids are up early again, and they're just like leaving the house.
Oh, let's let the kids be kids.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy's in a trance again.
Yeah.
Same old Salem.
What's
Do you
great?
want your breakfast?
What's great about the "Come Little Children" song is that the only thing more impressive than Sarah's voice is her cleave.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
them yabos.
She's really bent over that broom.
Just working the broom.
They gave her the most low-cut bodice they could find.
Yeah, those for Max in his yabos.
Yeah.
So Max arrives, and he tricks the sisters by using high beams on the car, which causes them to panic and hide in fear because they think the sun is up. Meanwhile, Danny
Again,
escapes.
the drama with these sisters, so real.
So real.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh my god,
But
I'm
before that,
melting."
when she
Yeah.
says, "What's that, dude?" I was, where did she pick that up? Did she learn that from Ice and Jay? Because they're right
Yeah.
there.
They're like, "Dude, let us know."
Yeah.
Maybe, but I feel like there's some indications throughout the film that like they have been picking up things, which I don't know. Maybe it's like a connection to Binks because he was their last spell work that was left in the world, and he was clearly like learning and watching things. But like they're singing in the town hall scene in like more contemporary styles than what they would have and did in the beginning, and also there's the first scene in the graveyard where they swoop down. She tauntingly says to Max, "It's just a bit of hocus pocus," which is the thing that he said right before he lit the candle. So like I feel like there's some indication that they are kind of aware of what was happening in the house, at least.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
for all the years that Allison's mom was running the museum, people were walking around and they're talking like they may have picked up some slang.
Lingo.
Gotcha.
Dang, all right.
Speak the language.
So we see where Danny escapes with Max and Allison.
Oh, with the headlights. Once again, outfoxed by tech.
Yeah, I love it.
I feel like there's like a theme that was I think more prevalent in 90s kid movies than today, of like using technology to outwit parents, and a lot of parents being like, I just don't know, the kids and their phones these days, that kind of thing. Like you could really like hand wave a lot of stuff and be like, it's a computer thing, or like the Fairly Odd Parents, every time they're like, where did you get this, Timmy? Internet. Like that joke worked really well because when we were growing up, like parents really were not tech savvy like they are today. Because it's much more prevalent in everyday life. But so I've liked that they use that narrative device in this way of like these kids have probably been using technology to trick their parents on like low stakes stuff, and now they're just like ramping that up to trick the witches a lot.
Yeah. Well, I feel like going off of that too, like I just feel like just the fact that these normal everyday kids, non-magical whatsoever, can
trout-blooded
just
American
outsmart
teenagers,
these super powerful witches.
Wait till you see it part 2.
Yeah.
That's the whole goddarn movie.
This is my point. Like, this movie was amazing, and then this one teaches kids that you have to also have magical powers in order to accomplish your goals.
I think that's that was my biggest complaint about the first to second one is these kids are outsmarting these supernatural, characters and stuff who are more magical and have more power than they do.
Yep.
And the second one, they're like, I'm 16. I just picked up magic powers an hour ago. Now I'm holding my own against all 3 sisters. And you're like, what?
Yeah,
see stuff like that happens a lot in modern movies.
It does.
And I think it's just that like they give these inexperienced screenwriters like these big projects that they're not prepared for.
Yeah.
They're just like, I think this is how you write a movie. And you're like, no, they need to learn this stuff. Take a second. Don't blow through it. I don't know. Because I remember like watching that and I'm like, fuck this movie.
Yeah, that's when I literally was watching it with Robyn and I like leaned over and I went, this movie sucks.
So
like,
people,
what is this?
people at home
modern
don't.
movies are also really hamstrung by being written by committee, because like I definitely heard an interview with the screenwriter of this movie whose name or of the sequel rather, whose name I'm blanking on right now. I think she was on Adam Conover's podcast a few months ago. Probably during the writer's strike, so that would have been last year. Time. But and she was talking about how Disney was touting this as a very successful movie, but then when it came time to pay her for writing this very successful movie, then it was suddenly like, oh well, we don't have that data, we don't track like streaming or time watched or anything like that. So like they were talking about it in that context, but also like writers really, there are a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Disney is kind of notorious for having a big old packet of stuff that's like, your main character can't do this, they can't say this, a lot of people point to like the no smoking stuff, so like a lot of movies nowadays they can't have characters smoking in them or else like the rating changes and stuff like that, and so like a lot of production companies will just say just don't do it. So I wonder how much of the writer's original script, again, having not seen Hocus Pocus 2, I wonder how much of her original script was like torn apart and pieced back together and like got the Frankenstein treatment to create this thing that Disney was like, we have maximized it for every possible person on the planet to give us money.
I would argue that, there's a possibility that could have happened, but the story just didn't have any life in it to begin with. There was like nothing to.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what I mean? I think
it didn't need a sequel.
And a lot of movies don't. That's the sad truth.
Yeah.
So everybody listening at home, don't watch modern movies anymore. Just go watch anything from the 70s.
Yeah.
Go watch a real movie.
Buy the physical copies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy
and this one
media.
movie from 1993.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say that there's some really great movies that come out every year. That is a fact.
Oh, you know what you have to see? Have you ever seen Air Bud?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen
Air
Air
Bud.
Bud 2?
Air Bud versus Jason. Did you ever see that one? That was pretty good. No, there's a lot of great movies that come out every year, for sure. But the stuff that they really, really push into like the mainstream, it is so fucking forgettable. That's what I was saying before about Joker. It's like, at least they tried something, and it actually shocked me how much they strayed from being formulaic, but we don't gotta talk about that shit. What else? What's going on with the Sanderson sisters?
Well, so they get tricked, and so Danny, frees his sister, and the two of them run to the car. I do like Allison's little dance of like, let's go, let's get to the car.
Yeah.
While she's whistling to try
yeah.
and sound like birdsong. Yeah.
Like,
But Danny, again, my favorite animal, is like, I want to watch her die. And
Yeah.
Max is like, get in the fucking car.
yeah. And then they steal the book. Right? Is this when they take the book? Or no, they still have the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So anyways, they take
But
off.
they spilled the potion.
They
knocked-
spilled the potion. Yeah, that's right.
Max like karate kicked the cauldron and knocked all the potion over.
And he takes his cross trainers back.
Oh yeah, and leaves those
Yeah.
kids to die.
To die, yeah.
I was like, what? So
No heroic moment for Max.
He is trying to live up to Danny's example.
Yeah, she's
Exactly.
like,
yeah.
well, my sister wants to watch you die.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It's a hard face to say no to.
She's bloodthirsty. I can't
Yeah,
help it.
and she's just such a cute little 8-year-old. Like, you can't say no to her.
No.
Say no.
Precocious little murder muffin.
I know. With the curls, she actually reminded me a lot of my daughter, Artemis, who, has a cute little button nose and the blonde curly hair. And so I was like, oh, she kind of looks like Artie. And then she's like, you could have died like a man, you puss. And I'm like, yep, that's my girl.
So
Love that.
the
Yep.
sisters get up and they chase them on their brooms. And luckily for the kids, they reach the cemetery, which is kind of like a holy ground where they can't necessarily touch the cemetery, at least the ground. But they run into Billy, and at first you're like, oh no, Billy has them in his grasp. Like, what's going to happen? And Billy cuts open his mouth, and he goes,
10,000 years gives you such a crick in the neck.
And,
Remember
That
Aladdin?
scene was so
Yeah.
amazing.
Love that fake out because he's got him with the knife almost.
He's
to
like,
his
look out, I have a
Right.
Swiss Army knife and I'm not afraid to use it.
Well, he's threatening him with a knife, and you think,
Yeah.
oh, he's just gonna off this kid right now.
Yeah.
And then he just uses it to open his own mouth, and the first word out of his mouth is trollop.
Yeah.
you trollop.
There's
I
actually
love the-
the director's
the,
cut where he like slits Max's throat. Did you ever see that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
They replaced the actor because that was the first scene
Yeah.
that we shot.
Ooh, we forgot the prosthetic.
Yeah.
But Billy's stitches on his mouth are the Roman numerals for 13, which I always thought was a fun little Easter egg. But also practical effects.
Yes.
The moths are real.
Yeah.
They came out of his mouth.
Yeah, no.
Doug Jones.
Doug
What a
Jones
stud.
talked about it in an interview for one of the anniversary specials. They had like a little like latex pouch that they put in his mouth that had tiny little hole in the back for him to breathe. But they put real moths in. And then the makeup artist was standing like right there, so they'd put the pouch with the moths in, and then they'd quick put the stitches on his mouth and like duck out of camera, and they'd do a take and he'd cut it open and let the moths out, and then they had like multiple pouches of moths that they could use for multiple takes, but that's how they did it.
That's so cool.
Because
Doug Jones.
yeah, they wanted it to look good, and they were like, it's got to be real moths.
Yeah.
And Doug Jones was like, yeah, put them in my mouth.
It's like fucking.
Doug Jones's famous catchphrase, yeah, put it in my mouth.
Yeah. Put it in my mouth.
He probably thought like, hey, Michelle Pfeiffer put a fucking bird in her mouth in Batman Returns. Second
Yeah.
Batman Returns reference
Yeah.
in this episode.
Oh yeah.
But didn't she have like a bird blow out of her mouth at
Yeah,
one
she
point?
literally had like a real bird and then
Yeah.
like let it fly out.
That's a cool
It's
movie.
crazy.
You don't see stuff like that nowadays.
Nah, it
No.
would be like
Kills me.
CGI.
Well, that's because every so often the actors like swallow the bird.
yeah.
Oh no.
Who among us?
Been there.
I know, right? Like, oh man, what a week I've had.
All right, Doug, let the mouths out.
What?
Moths, you say?
The mouth
Shit.
moths.
Oh,
I thought that was lunch. So Billy helps fight off the Sandersons, and
Did you notice that Max has a baseball bat in this scene?
yeah,
And what was his costume when he was out with Danny?
little leaguer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was like creeper hiding in bushes. That's what the costume looked like.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sex
Or-
pervert.
Or Captain America, Winter Soldier, when he's like.
Oh yeah.
So, but Danny tries to help Billy, and she gets caught by Winifred, and Max tries to bargain for Danny, and he drinks the potion, and as Winifred tries to drain his life, the sun starts to rise. And first we see the sisters are kind of, trying to pull, like Mary's like out of control, and so Sarah's like trying to help her, and eventually they let go of them and they fly up into the sun or towards the sun, and we just see them explode, and it's awesome. And
the whole fight scene has great drama.
Yeah.
And I know it's just wire work and a big fan, but when you see the witches on their brooms with their cloaks and sleeves billowing, it's so majestic. You actually believe for a second that they're magic.
And
they did have a choreographer planning out the flight sequences, so they did think of it as like a dance almost. And so there's like specific thought went into how like Sarah Jessica Parker sits on her broom because of Sarah's personality and the way that it, like the choreographer said that Mary is the most responsible flyer, so in some shots you'll actually see her like making turn signals with her hands to say which way she's going, but like she's got both hands on the broom and she's very conscientious and she's like, looking around, whereas Winnie is just like charging out front, guns blazing. But also to that note, I do really love when they have to fly to the cemetery because they're like, oh shit, it's almost dawn, but they're like, oh, we don't have our brooms, and they go in the utility closet in the museum and they have Winnie finds a broom, but it's just like a plastic broom, and then Sarah grabs a mop, and Mary doesn't have anything else, so she grabs the vacuum.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I do love in that scene, like Sarah Jessica Parker, I don't know what it is, like when she's on the broom, it looks so cool. Like I like the way she just like her movements and everything,
and her yabos.
Yeah.
So
is that gonna be your emojis? I give it 5 yabos.
So and then we see where Winifred, she falls to the ground, and because her feet touch the holy ground, she starts to become stone, and it looks so cool. Like
Especially
love that.
Surrounded by all those trolls.
I love the last thing she says
That's a Hobbit
to call
reference.
for her book. Not her sisters, her book.
Yeah.
Yeah. But both of her sisters take their moment to say goodbye.
Yeah.
If we can go back a little bit, I'm usually not expecting a lot from kid actors, because most of the time they just say lines, they don't really act. I will have to give it to Max for the scene where he's like, drop her, I'll smash it. And in that scene, like, I thought he was like pretty mediocre through this film, but that scene where you see the conflict on his face of whether to smash this or use it to trade, and his eyes kind of glass up with tears, and he drinks the potion, and then the look of like kind of like resolved horror on his face. I don't have to give it to Max for that one scene. Like, he really like internalized a lot of that, and it shows on his face.
I like he has another scene that I really, really liked. It's like when he's about to jerk off to his pillow. Just kidding.
But
what noise is it gonna make?
Yabos.
Trout.
Yabos. So
Checking in with Robyn. How you feeling?
Wonderful.
But no, I agree.
This is my life.
I think throughout the film, he does a really good job. The same way that Danny does a really good job of being an annoying kid sister while still being very endearing and like to watch.
Yeah.
Max, I think, does a good job of being like this aloof teenager that's just like, oh man, I hate it here. I want to go back to LA. And
where?
LA.
As the new kid, I kind of wish his character had met Christina Ricci's character from Casper. I feel like they would have been like,
oh
house on
yeah,
fire,
definitely.
Yeah.
But then the scenes where he, I think, puts in a really compelling performance are the scenes where he's trying to like be a good brother to Danny, like when she's crying outside of Allison's house and he comes over to have like a really genuine moment with her where he's like, I'm sorry, I know I'm being a jerk, and she's like, yeah, no, like you're not usually like this, you're just being an asshole. And he's like, whoa, Danny, language. But yeah, I think those are the most compelling scenes with him, and so he's a really good foil for Binks, because Binks, and when they're dancing in the fountain with Jennifer Aniston, Binks is like, hey, we're foils. I didn't save my sister. You need to save yours. And he's like, oh man, foreshadowing. I'm like, yes, you get it. He was paying attention in class.
Yeah.
He wasn't just doodling the Grateful Dead logo.
You know what? I do wish they brought back like something from earlier, like when Winifred she captures Danny. I wish he just brought out his drum set and played a drum solo.
Well, no, because it got smashed. Remember, they threw him into it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but that
which is why he was unconscious for half that scene.
The only thing I was just wondering.
Just gotta drum it out.
The only thing I'm wondering is, EJ, did you like my Hobbit reference before?
I did.
Yeah,
I
okay.
actually really
I just want to make sure you
enjoyed
got
it.
it.
Yeah, I loved
I was
it.
really proud of it.
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, we see where Winifred, she turns into stone, and then eventually the sun is now fully risen, and so she combusts into like a red dust. And
As one does.
As one does. But unfortunately, we see that Binks passes. But on the plus side, he reunites with his dead sister Emily, but he does break Danny's heart, and it is a very nice moment. But I feel like that is so much for Danny to go through in one night. I was like, oh my god.
You know what would have been
really gonna live forever. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Do you know what would have been really, really cool for this movie? If the ending is just like he's like walking off with his sister, and then he just got like sucked into hell.
Oh no.
Wouldn't that have been awesome? It's like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with my sister now, and then it's just like it's like the ending Drag Me to Hell.
No, it's like Ghost. You just see those shadows coming. I'm coming for you, Binks.
The Cenobites show up.
We have such sights to show you.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been a much better. That's why they should let me write movies.
Yeah.
Remember Ghost or Hocus Pocus 2?
Yeah.
What movie are we covering right now? I don't even know anymore.
The better one.
As happy as that is, like everything resolves, I think there's one really tragic thing about the ending that everybody overlooks.
The bus driver's not locked up?
Two things that people overlook. That Allison ends up with a drummer.
I was going to say this. I do like that, you know, they have this really nice goodbye, right? Like, so Binks kisses Danny on the cheek, and he's like, thank you so much. Because at one point, she's like, you could live with me forever, and then my kids will take care of you, and then those kids will take care of you, and yada, you know. And so at one point, she thinks, like, he's going to be in her life forever, right? And I do like in that goodbye, he's like, I'll be with you forever. So I do like that.
I just want his ghost to haunt her every night. She's like, this isn't what I wanted.
And I also like that he gets one more burn on Max for being a virgin.
I know.
Because like Emily's like, where have you been? He's like, I had to wait 300 years for a fucking virgin to light that candle. You just see Max like,
It'd be like pointed at him. He's just like, that virgin right there.
Max
Just come on, man.
Jesus Christ.
That loser over there. See him?
In case you forgot, he's still a virgin.
Oh my god.
Only a virgin can light the candle, and he lit it.
But
That's why we're all here.
That's why we're all here. But that's the end of the movie. What did you guys think of it?
Well, no, that's not the end of the movie, because then we see the book open
Oh,
its eye.
that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not over.
And the parents leaving the party, and they're like, man.
Oh yeah, the parents are like, wow, not doing coke again.
Yeah, I
And
thought.
then there was that
Never
one.
again.
LA was a party town.
Yeah, I thought LA was a party town.
There's
like,
also like that weird that mid-credit scene where they find Thor's hammer.
Oh yeah, that was in New Mexico.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty
And Sam
cool.
Jackson is like, I'd like to talk to you.
Yeah.
Max, we need a virgin on the Avengers.
No, he shows up in his bedroom. He goes, "You think you're the only virgin in this universe?"
I want to.
I am.
Let me tell
Trout
you.
Man.
Let me tell you about the.
It smells like trout in here.
Let me tell you about the Virgingers.
Boom, nailed it. Love it. So let's start with Meggie. What did you think? Did you love this movie, right?
Oh yeah, I have loved this movie since I was a kid. I watch it at least once every Halloween season, and I was super excited to talk about it. So wonderful movie. 5 out of 5. Are we saving emojis for the end?
Oh yeah, we'll
okay.
save
We'll
it.
get there. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Elle?
As the friendly neighborhood witch, I really enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
It's a classic. Try to watch it pretty often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really good.
It has
Robyn?
rewatchability, which is good.
Oh, 100%.
You can tell that everybody that was involved with it really loved the project. Like Bette Midler has said it's her favorite project that she's ever done. I believe Sarah Jessica Parker also says it's one of her favorite roles that she's ever had.
And they didn't think it was gonna go anywhere either.
Yeah, I know. They thought it was going to be this
Didn't
dinky
do
little
well.
thing.
Oh, and I have a photo of me with the book because it's at the Planet Hollywood in New York.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Heard that book's a jerk in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Robyn, how'd you like it?
It was good.
Excellent. Excellent.
Very
Rory?
demure,
No, I
very
loved it.
respectful. I
I've
like
always
it.
loved it, and I always will. I'm just gonna pretend the sequel doesn't even exist, and that's fine.
Yeah. Right?
Did you say what you thought of it?
I love it.
We're going
I
around
think
the table. Come on.
I saw it when I was a kid, and I loved it then. I've loved it all the way up to my adult years, of course. But I think when I went to Salem, and we like that last time,
Yeah.
and we did all the locations, and being there, and you're just like, whoa, like I can't believe, like everything comes back, and it just increased my love of this movie even more.
Yeah, agreed. It was very surreal. It was so cool.
Because you've done different famous movie locations before
I have.
too, and so it's just like there's something about being in those type of spots, and you're just like, man, and it just makes you love a movie even more.
It actually makes me hate the movies more.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh.
I actually lose feeling for them when I'm in the locations.
You have feeling?
Just have like a hair of one left.
Oh, okay.
Just-
Yeah.
just
It's
a
for
little.
the kitties, though, right?
Mostly for the cats.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about the movie?
I think this movie is pretty rad. It's one of those like essential Halloween viewing movies. You could stick it in a little bag with like Halloween, Trick or Treat, Nightmare Before Christmas, shit like that. No, I think it's a lot of fun to watch. It's definitely like an easy watch too. It's just like one of those things you can just like sort of put on in the background of a Halloween party. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I think it's it must be a lot of fun to be like a little kid and find this.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about Hocus Pocus too, by the way.
Get out.
So
I'm so sorry.
one thing we like to do is emojis. Do you guys do that too?
Yeah, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact, we do.
Really? Well, why don't we go ahead and just give our emojis? My emojis for this are a candle, and then the no symbol, and a eggplant for virginity.
I like it.
Yeah.
Succinct.
That's good.
So that's my emojis. Robyn, go ahead.
Okay, so of course I put a black cat for Banks. I put a little zombie for Billy because he's my favorite character. A black heart, of course, because I freaking love this movie. And then a no symbol, like a circle with the line through it, and a magic wand because, again, going back to the fact that you don't need magic to be awesome and accomplish great things. And then a little superhero emoji just to, be the hero regardless at the end of the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. Elle?
I have a candle
Ooh.
and a book. Also,
Crushed
a
it.
gravestone for the graveyard and a zombie for Billy, because Doug Jones is incredible,
Yeah.
and a trout.
Oh. Good. Maggie?
I also had a cat, a book, a tombstone. I also have a butterfly because I didn't have a moth. But that's just one of my favorite moments in the film is that effect. And a candy bar because I love the scene where they're leaving Satan's house and Mary says, "Oh, Master has given me the chocolate-covered finger of a man named Clark." No, it's candy. Like, what did he give us candy? That's one of my favorite bits. Yeah, so that's what I got.
When you were talking about Satan, were you talking about Satan or termite Satan?
Termite Satan.
Regular Satan.
Yes.
Just want to double check that.
Yeah.
And Rory, your emojis?
I got a chicken. I got a horse. I got some sheep.
Okay, like the sheep.
Geese. I got a woof because there's a wolf running
Fantastic
around this
woof
movie. There's a cat because this is one of those movies that understood the assignment. You know, make a movie and have a talking cat be one of the main characters.
Of course.
I like when Bing sasses. He's like, "Don't open the book," and he's using his little arm.
Says, yeah.
Yeah.
He's using his little toe beans to show authority.
And his tail flicks all irritated like.
I got 3 witches, some yabos, I got a trout, and also I got a vacuum cleaner.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
nice. I like it.
A broom.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And also people dancing it.
Sweet.
It's a lot of emojis.
There's so many.
I like it.
I'm not even looking at my phone.
Oh my
So
God.
I don't know if you guys on your podcast plug anyone. I know we have a lot of friends.
Oh, yeah,
and,
we do.
People we'd like to promote, help promote. I would
Or
like to
work
name a
against for us. That's what we do in our universe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we actually tell people not to listen to certain bands that we know.
Oh, you have enemies of the podcast.
Yes.
We have friends of the podcast.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
lame. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just how we do here, okay?
Okay, fine.
They don't have a McDonald's like we do.
Oh, shit.
Who would like to start?
I don't. No, no.
They don't have any friends, Robyn.
Yeah. No,
I got something if you want me to start it off.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'll go over here. I got Ravenview Productions. That's my film production company.
Ravenview?
Ravenview Productions. It's my film production company. You can look it up on Facebook and YouTube if you have some time. And if you don't have time, just look it up anyways. Because why do you think you're so important? Fourth Cut Reviews is it's an internet thing run by our keyboard warrior friend Chris Conforti. He does reviews and some film stuff sometimes. NEPA Horror Fest has already passed, so when you're listening to this, you can go to it, so don't try. Variant Season, our buddy Will Perna's band. They're killing it. You can find them on probably wherever you listen to your music.
Hell
Unless
yeah.
you don't listen to music like some fucking freak. Gravy Diggers, the best pot pies that will take your life away from you. Real Chronicles, friend of the show, Dave Gonzalez. You can look him up. He does some great stuff over there. They cover films, everything really, and they're very knowledgeable. But most importantly, let's get over this shit. Start talking about kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue. That's where it's at. If you love cats, you'll love this group because they go in and they save cats, and they get them.
Did you like the cat in the movie? Because
He was
then
from there.
What happens if more cats aren't adopted and turned into actors and make something of themselves?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that he was adopted from Kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue, and now he gets to have acting gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And it's good to keep them off the streets because we don't want those cats using needle drugs. And they're real cute and they're fun to pet, so you can adopt them or you can just donate some shit to them. Some toys.
Donate some shit, you jerk offs.
Yeah, you fucks.
Yeah.
But that's all I got. I don't got anything else. I don't want to be here anymore.
All right, Meggie.
I would like to plug Scranton Films that just finished a project and had their premiere a week or two ago, Shadows of the Past, which I think they're now sending out to film festivals. So go on Facebook and look up Scranton Films, like and follow their page to see when you can catch that movie next.
You might spot one of the SHEQUELS as an extra in one of the scenes.
As
Holy
well
crap.
as several friends of the podcast.
Enemies up for us, but go ahead.
I also want to give a shout out to Lyric Consort. It's a chamber choir based here in Scranton that my husband Max is in. They have a show coming up on Saturday, October 26th at 7:30 p.m. at St. Luke's Episcopal Church here in Scranton. It's over by Steamtown Mall. Free will donation for admission. But they have been working on some really beautiful music, so if you are into that sort of thing. come see that. And then also there's the Battle of the Bards 10 on Sunday, November 10th over at the V Spot here in Scranton. I believe it's a $10 cover to get in. Battle of the Bards is really cool. Elle and I have both participated before, and as writers, actors, writers are given 48 hours to write a short scene, and then actors are given about a half hour with the script before they perform it. So if you want to act in it, show up at 5 p.m. on November 10th at the V Spot, and the show starts at 6. And that's all I got.
Are you a writer in that one, or no?
No, I've performed in it, but Elle has written in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have that in your universe?
Actually, yeah, I do, and I did it in my universe as well.
Nice.
And it was pretty rad.
Did anybody show up?
No one came, and actually they all booed after mine, which is
I was there
expected.
to boo.
Yeah.
I also threw a Molotov cocktail at him.
Right. Yeah, it was expected. I was like, oh.
Like, get off the stage. Stop expressing yourself.
And he burned alive my actors, and so it was cool. It was a good experience.
So nice.
Hard lesson.
It builds character.
It does. Elle?
Tears apart families, though. But go ahead.
I'd like to plug Eastern Tribute Collective. That is all of the tribute acts that my husband is in. I think he's up to 46 bands now, something like that.
Yo.
What's his name?
The Nu Metal Messiah.
Metal Messiah, Jon Snow. We have one of those, too.
I was wondering how you did it in sync like that.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
They
All hail termite Satan for Jon Snow.
if you go to easterntributecollective.com, or you can find them on Facebook at Eastern Tribute Collective or ETC. They are playing at Quinn's Pins in Middletown, New York on October 25th. That is the Issues tribute band along with that nu metal band. So great bunch of guys, great bunch of music. Go check it out. Also, hey Hollywood, hop on your brooms and fly down to Three Jacks. You won't need to wait for a special potion to brew when you can get their $3 Jack and Cokes. They don't have a magic book, but you can read their magical menu and try one of their bewitching concoctions, like the Burger of the Month, the Boogeyman. It's a beef patty with bacon, cheese, onion rings, and a spicy sauce that'll leave you as speechless as Billy Butcherson. Three Jacks, basics done better. Oh, and don't believe anything you read about gravy diggers. That's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Speaking of dropping mics, jeepers.
Yeah, that was good. Robyn?
Wait, my stars.
My stars.
Oh, lordy.
Oh, Lord.
Clutching my pearls. Go on.
Okay, so I would like to plug the...
That's a hard act to follow.
I know, right?
All eyes are on you.
Oh, no. The Spice Asian Food Market in downtown Scranton. I know the owner there, Sue and Jared. They're both wonderful people.
Freaking love that place.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff there, and they like to host First Fridays. Local people, myself included, and a few of my friends as well, we like to display our art there sometimes. So if anyone ever wants to stop by, on a First Friday of the month, come on down to Spice Food Market.
I myself bought a Robyn original.
You did, and I super
hangs,
appreciate it.
It hangs above my popcorn machine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
So cool.
that is very
I
cool.
mean, I throw
that.
stuff at it. Why can't I be a normal
Oh.
person? Why can't I just
This is why
say
you
something
have
nice?
no friends.
I know.
Jeez.
What's wrong
Well,
with me?
Fuck you,
I'm
Rory.
trying to be a human being, and then I'm just like, undercut it.
Dude, go to church.
They won't let me in anymore.
Yeah.
I made up my own hymns. This is weird.
I just want to plug one more person as well. My friend Laura Bednarik, her business, The Strange Case of. You can find it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Etsy, probably anywhere on the internet, really. She sells a lot of handmade clothing and other small trinkets here and there. So she's very talented. I love the girl, so go support her.
What was the name of that one again?
The Strange Case of.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool. I would like to just plug my buddy Chris Alou's music. You could check out Songs from the Hallway. It's his EP, and it's on iTunes and Spotify. It's awesome. It has a very Billy Joel kind of vibe.
It is. It's good.
It's really good. I listen to it all the time. And then, of course, another one I listen to all the time is Adam Farley's music, which you can find on Spotify and iTunes. I recommend Carson's song. It's a really cool song dedicated to his son.
Sounds like love.
It does.
It really does.
And then I also will give a shout out to Shantytown Design, who helped design our website, which I'll plug in a second. FREAKQUELSpodcast.com. You could go there. You could buy shirts. You can listen to episodes, see pictures, send us questions. All of that is available, and there's links to our Instagram, Facebook, and etc. So make sure to check out FREAKQUELSpodcast.com. Also, we have an Instagram and we have a Facebook if you want to check those out. Talking about Instagram, I did get a question, and this is open for everybody. I figured we can maybe list like 2 or 3 if you want. But we got a message from Chris the Bearded Wonder, and he said, "Hey, I hope you all are well. Happy spooky season. One of my favorite times of the year, as I'm sure it is yours as well. I'm looking to watch something spooky. It could be anything in that realm, live action or animated. From listening to your podcast, you guys are the pros, and I would love to hear your favorites when you have some time, of course." So I figure let's open it to Meggie. You want to go first?
Let's see. There's a weird horror movie that's like one of my go-to suggestions that I keep in my back pocket called Lake Mungo. It's an Australian film.
Good flick.
Oh, you've seen it?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's really good. It's sort of a found footage documentary style. It's very well done. The effects are limited, practical. It's very believable. It's more interpersonal than anything. It's following a tragic loss of family. Is just sort of trying to understand what happened and come to terms with it, while also realizing that like it's ongoing in a way that is unsettling but ultimately very satisfying, and very interesting pseudo twist at the end, which is very fun. So Lake Mungo, I believe it's currently on Amazon Prime, last I checked, but that's a good one.
All right. Elle?
Dracula sucks.
That's not spooky, that's sexy.
Oh,
How many vampire movies can you name right now? Go.
32 of them just have Dracula in the title. Spooky is hard to define, like, because I don't do like a lot of intense horror. I like psychological thrillers. If that's the kind of spooky you're into, one that a lot of people haven't really seen is a film called Bad Samaritan, starring Robert Sheehan and David Tennant. And that one, it has like a really good job of keeping the tension through the whole film.
I like it. And then Robyn, do you have a favorite horror movie or spooky movie, especially for Halloween? It could be anything. He said animated, whatever.
That's a good question. There's a lot of good ones. Can you come back to me?
Yeah. Rory?
After you.
Oh, okay. I'll just do 2 quick ones. I love anything. I love so many spooky movies, but one animated one I highly recommend. I love it. I watch it every Halloween. You spent every October. Paranorman. It's about this little kid who can see ghosts, and it's not only hilarious but very touching and touches on like some really good social commentary and stuff too. So I would recommend Paranorman. And then something a little goofier, I would say Night of the Demons. Yeah. All right.
What's this person's name? What's writing it? Chris?
Yeah.
Chris, do your own fucking homework.
No.
No?
You can't treat everybody like that.
Oh, I see.
Haven't you guys made 50 recommendations?
Yeah. How about Hocus Pocus 2?
No.
Spooky.
It's pretty horrible.
No, I mean, honestly, I know it's like real easy to throw out suggestions like, you'd say like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that. But if you really want to dig a little deeper, something like, did you ever see Haxan?
No.
Look that up. Or
like from the 1920s. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Or like the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
I love that one.
Yeah. Like maybe like
Black Sunday.
Just like dig into maybe some like silent horror.
Yeah.
Like even like Nosferatu's a popular one.
Yes.
Those movies have like a real fucking spooky mood to them.
Vampire.
Maybe because deep down inside that every single person that worked on it is dead. And has been dead for a while.
Well, there's also something about the way the movement flows in those that it's a little bit of the uncanny valley. It's like people don't move like that, and you can see something off about it, and it adds to the atmosphere, I guess.
Yeah. There's just something really special about those movies. So I would say check out any of that. Haxon last year, Becca and I were watching it when we were out in Salem. And that movie has like a real thing to it. Like you're just like, this is
good.
It's neat. I would try that.
Yeah.
And stop being lazy and figure out your own life.
Such terrible advice.
What?
Robyn, you got one?
Yes and no. I feel like for me it's hard to answer because I didn't really like watch too many movies. TV shows, however, if you want something ooky spooky, I was very creeped out by The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh yeah, that's
I had a lot of
awesome.
nightmares from that show.
That's so good. Anything Mike Flanagan does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would say that one if you're in the mood for a show. I mean, if you watch one episode, it feels like a movie anyways. Like it's about an hour long. I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Ish.
So yeah, if that counts.
And
'Cause
also,
I can't think of anything else for some reason.
Well, I know you were saying before Hocus Pocus 2, right?
Yeah.
We were
really
talking
scary.
about that. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I don't even want to revisit it because it's so scary. Yeah.
Anyway.
So
For TV shows and limited series, though, there's also on Netflix right now The Terror from a few years ago about the failed expedition to try and find a Northwest Passage that was the HMS Erebus and the HMS Terror that were lost, and it was years before anybody figured out like what happened. They had to do a lot of like post-mortem archaeological sort of sleuthing to figure out what happened there. And so it's on Netflix. I think there's like eight or 10 episodes. It was just the one season, but it's just an all-star cast of white British actors. There's Tobias Menzies, there's Kieran Hines, Jared Harris, and it is very good at maintaining tension, like Elle was saying with Bad Samaritan. And also in the beginning, like, you don't really know if they're sort of taking like a supernatural twist on it, saying like, oh, something happened to them out there that wasn't natural, or was it just like, yeah, no, they tried to sail across the North Pole in winter. Idiots. But yeah, and like it really puts you in the headspace of like, these are men who are trapped on a boat together for they know they're going to be trapped for a couple of years, and there's just like there's no help coming. If something breaks, it's broken. If they run out of food, they run out of food, and they are just trying to figure out how to make it to where they're going before the worst happens. So that one is also very good.
Nice.
I have one other one to recommend.
yeah.
If you don't want to watch my old silent movies, did anyone watch Midnight Mass?
Yes.
So watch the hell out of that. I think that is one of the most beautifully written things I've ever
I
seen.
can't believe you looked me in the face and asked me if I watched it.
My eyes went right to you. I was like, anyone watch Midnight
He's
Mass?
not from around
Elle?
here, Elle. He doesn't know.
I know.
I think it has a slow start because it's establishing like who everybody is
As
and
it
their
should.
connections.
World building.
Yeah, it's a lot of good world building, and the
Without
climax
spoiling
is-
anything, yeah.
Yeah, the climax is incredible. That's all I'll say.
I think that is one of the most beautifully written things I've ever watched.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Some of those, like, I know some people are complaining about the monologues, but get your fucking head checked. They're like, it was so long. I'm like, I don't know. You don't like good writing? Go watch something shitty.
episode 4 made me cry my face off.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But now that I'm done berating the audience for having opinions, let's move on.
Yeah. So, with all that being said, all the plugs in it, I think I just want to say thank you guys for letting us be on SHEQUELS with you.
Yeah, thanks for somehow warping into here, even though we specifically asked for Vince. Mm-hmm. But, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we were happy to join you.
I've been stealing your credit card information.
Oh, my.
I want to see if it works on our side.
Hey, my car's not parked outside anymore. Somebody carjacked it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, new cars to Jack and Jay.
Oh,
a whole new world. The possibilities are endless.
Oh, man.
Oh,
except they don't have McDonald's here. So
we got to get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Remember those spooky pails they used to have at McDonald's?
Yeah.
You can get the little pumpkin, the witch, and the ghost.
Accessible all the time.
Yeah.
Those and those plates.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
let's end the show because it's
All right.
running long.
All right, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's all, folks. Thank you all for listening, and hope to see you again on another episode of
Sequels? But we were gonna go with the freakquels thing because that was.
Fuck you, Rory.
I'm just saying, like, it is. Freakquels!
Yes, we got them.
We got them.
Let's get out of
Let's
here.
get out of this stupid world.
Oh my god.